from core drops, as we call it. Yeah. Not windows, not tile loot, you know, whatever all the terminology is. Obviously, that will then, by consequence, diminish the rewards from window loot and tile loot. Yes, that is intentional.
Just economically speaking, you mean, like?
Yes, correct. As in just proportionately, one goes up, the other is now less value proportionately.
Yeah, just like inflation and whatnot.
What else are we doing? We're going to do a bit of a pass on like memory strands was an attempt to try and get equipment. So that's the currency. The equipment memory strands was an attempt to get equipment drop to be more impactful. You know, when you identify it, I would say that system didn't. It has its purposes, but it didn't land as good as we wanted. So we're just reassessing that since we're also making changes to the end game around originator maps and all that. Look, they're going to be better. There'll be generally more strands. They'll have higher impact. So identified items via that means will just be better. We're also trying. We're going to see if we can do it in time to make sure that it also doesn't just pick bad base types.
Yo, I'm gonna log into. I'm gonna log into League. I'm gonna log into League. Tell me if something is freaking wrong. I'm gonna log into League and, like, I don't know, go into practice tool or something like that. I need to freaking finally do this right, but quality looks good. Okay, that's nice, but
Sure, I think at this point.
that's good.
Greater good is often the way to look at it. And then look, we're doing
Hold up a second.
we have ancient orbs, fracturing orbs added to the core drop pools. You know, which should help a little bit for that more kind of mid to higher tier currency. We're doing anything else? So we're doing a little bit of a rebalancing of currency proportions.
Hold up a second. I reinstalled the OBS. I reinstalled the OBS completely. I'll be honest with you. Create custom. Where's the practice tool? Training. Training.
By Endgame, you don't need the thousands of them that exist already. So yeah, look, that's the immediate.
What is happening? I'm asking you to check if the quality in League is going to be all right. What's the news? What's up, Thimble Winter? News about what? Acorn, do you think about the new skill that looks like Smite? I'll be honest, guys. I haven't even. The entire experience got ruined for me because I've been trying to fix the problems all this freaking time.
To suck from them or something, you know? These are just how these things go. It's a constant back and forth. It's a constant.
She must be running for 100 seconds. Are you a time traveler?
You know,
what do you mean?
The important thing is, it's just like there's a problem, fix the problem. You know, don't freaking. And the thing is about it, because item drops is so complicated, what you do.
I set it on 60 FPS also.
Just crazy
minus 100 seconds. There's a 100-second delay? Or what?
What did we do in the past that did X, Y, and Z? And it is important to discuss those. But sometimes it's also important to just bulldoze through.
Quality looks good. Alright, then the only thing that needs to happen is we need to figure out if.
Like we don't want to sell or have all the content.
No, we don't have.
You know,
we don't have a delay.
It's appreciated because of the fact that, you know, ground drops suck, which, as I said.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what the hell that is.
We'll hopefully do more later, if that's what's needed.
Alright, now the question is are we going to freaking still DC, right? If the quality right now is good, then I'm not gonna freaking change anything, to be honest. The only problems that I see, I only have 60 seconds. Excuse me, 60 FPS, right? So I could try to change that to 75 or something like that, but if it's not going to crash for now, then I guess it's fine. I don't even know what to do with today's stream anymore, though. Are we? Do you guys want to wait for me to, like, go over the patch notes? Are we doing patch notes today? We're gonna have, like, you know, 10 people here, but we can do them if you want. Like, the stream got completely ruined for me. Unfortunately.
Sort of in a way.
I guess we can wait, right? I guess we can wait.
Doubling the currency that drops. We're not like there is a total amount of weighting in the drop pool, if that makes sense, and we're not adding more weighting to that drop pool. Instead,
well, at least
we are
it's working
subtracting it
now.
from
Like
places
before, I couldn't
like,
even freaking
you
start
know,
the
normal
stream.
basic
I don't
weighting that
freaking
every single
understand what's
person is
going
having
on.
on their loot filter. That's now going. That weighting is now going instead towards currency items.
It's
and
doomed.
like Mark said, specifically towards currency
Claim
items.
your
that aren't,
rewards,
like, transient.
boys.
There's technically
If
not
you
more
have
items on
wants
the
to
floor,
claim.
it's just more of the garbage has turned into, ideally now, mid and higher tier currency.
Yeah, so like once upon a time we had this like massive historic quantity rarity buff removal thing that occurred, and that, some of the numbers on that were like crazy. It was like, oh, this is 1600% increased quantity. So for the skeptics out there, like my father, when I was
Well,
younger,
but
he'd say,
everything-
"I'm doubling
everything
your
seems
pay
to be
this
working."
week. Double nothing's nothing. do you think like
You
doubling
okay,
the
Luki?
currency is something that has like a pretty appreciable impact on like a map?
Yo,
type
Jonathan
basis
is not,
when, like, a
not
lot of
even
the
here
time you are
with the
kinda just
squad.
walking out with
What's
a couple
going on?
fragments in the scarab?
Why is it Octavian?
I mean,
Hammer
double
skill
is
looks so
definitely
good.
Still double. It's a pretty big.
You know
deal,
what?
You know, like,
Like
Like,
instead of
economic changes.
instead of
Definitely,
watching this,
I agree.
you know what
It's
I'm gonna
definitely
do
different
literally?
To, like 6% glacial
I don't
hammer.
think it makes sense for us to watch this. First of all, we're gonna join the Path of Exile. I'm legitimately, yeah, we are legitimately going to just rewatch this thing. I don't freaking remember almost anything from it anyway. Let's see what we have like here, right? Maybe we're gonna have some extra news. First of all, we saw this Essence of Desolation. Yo, what the heck is this? I haven't seen this. Rare item, blah, blah, blah. Chance to deal double damage against enemies for each type of element you have inflicted on them. 1%? 1%? %1 is ass. So what about 1%? I think it was PoE2. No, it's PoE1.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
200 the gloves, 5% attack speed, cast speed for each nearby enemy up to 30%. That's kind of cool, honestly. 5% increased movement speed for each nearby enemy up to 50%. There are global defenses if there is no defense modifiers on other equipped items. No defense modifiers on other equipped items. Global 90% global defenses. What the hell? Plus 6 socketed gems, while there is a single gem socketed in this item. Wow. Plus 6. For a single aura, potentially. Huh. 2 to 4% of armor applies to if damage if you have blocked recently. Oh my lord! I mean, it's not good for Voided. It's still not good for Voided. But holy smokes, dude. For general mapping, like, you can make immortal characters with this. What the hell is that thing? Still no swords in PoE2? They will appear soon, I'm sure. Hold on, I need to see. I need to see what the quality on the YouTube looks like. Hold on, let me change. Primary chat, change to YouTube, update. Let me check the YouTube. Hold on, I need to see. I need to see what. Okay, so the delay is very little. The quality on YouTube also seems fine, I guess. Also seems fine. 6 people watching right now. Perfect. All right, everything seems fine. For now, we'll see, you know, later, but for now, it looks fine. We'll see later. Damn, that is crazy, though. 4% of armor applies to fire, cold, and lightning on a shield craft. Whew. Wow. That is potentially freaking busted, not gonna lie, for like general mapping. Because like general mapping, if you're not doing Voided Valdos, and for general mapping, this is basically immortality for like, for armor stackers, right? This is legitimately immortality for armor stackers. This essence. 4% is enough to make you immortal. That's how freaking stupid it is. Okay, maybe not immortal. Like, okay, let's stop right there. But. But this is still good. This can change for a number of additional duration of almonds if you haven't inflicted recently. Shockwave has +1 cooldown uses. Magic belt. Equip magic has a 30% increased effect if you have no flask are adjacent to them. Okay. Interesting. I want to see a reaction on new tier 6. Okay, we're gonna watch that in a second. What is this? Lapis amulet. Can't use mana flasks. On non-channeling attack, set a life flask with greater than 50% maximum charges remain to 50%. For each charge removed this way, the attack gains plus 10% damage over time multiplier. This is gonna restore the items. Increase reactions to effect of flasks applied to you. Also apply to effect of arcane search at 200% 10. Increases reductions to effect of flasks. That's a lot of arcane surge effect for some builds. You have arcane surge during effect of any mana flask. Mana flask effects are not removed when unreserved mana is filled. Mana flask effects do not queue. Huh. I mean, I don't know, to be honest. Imbue skill. Slain enemies and mirages will rarely drop. What was it gonna do? Imbuing it with a random strength support. What did it change? Hold on. So, oh, supported skills gain 1 life on hit. I see. Supported by level 1 Bloodthirst. Wait, are you crazy? Are you serious? Slain enemies emerges will drop the most powerful instruments of Marcus magic, coins of power, skill and knowledge. Each one of them can be used in a level 20 skill gem, corrupting it and imbuing it with a level 1 support effect, which will inherently support that skill. So you get additional support, literally. I mean, that's freaking huge. And why is it 69% more damage with hits to closer targets, and here it's only 49? Did they freaking buff it or something? It's random though, it's random, and you're not going to be able to have 21-20. So you lose +1 to skill, but I mean, who gives a shit about +1 to skill, right? But you gain, wow. There's some really good low-level support gems you could put in there. You could, for example, put Fortify, and have freaking Fortify for free. That's a pretty good one. No? On some builds, at least. On some builds, it's freaking hard to get Fortified, to be honest. It's really freaking hard to get Fortified. You get freaking Fortified for free and more melee damage. Wow. Wow. That's really good. That's gonna be better for some builds, worse for some others, but that's really good. Weeping Black. The Sands of Time. Cast each different non-instant spell you've cast recently, 10%. I mean, nobody's gonna freaking use that. I think so. Alright, Holy Hammers. Slam the ground, calling down a Holy Hammer from above. On hitting an enemy, another hammer will cascade forward. Repeating the further enemies are hit up to a cap. Power charge can be expanded to call down additional hammers. Either side. Mace, Scepter, Staff. Power charges, huh? More damage when expending a power charge. Physical damage converted to lightning. Radius 1.8. First hammer, each cascade deals 100% more. Holy Hammers cascade up to 2 times. And call down to power charge. You think that we could get like a very consistent power charge generation on Brutus? There is a possibility that we could freaking use that all the time, you know? Like, we could have perma power charges on the Brutus build. It's not hard. We could just use power... Hold on. We could just use this. Power charge on crit. On level 1, it does what? 35% chance to get power charge and a critical strike. And that's pretty much good enough. We could do this. Or 2020, exchange something. But it's literally the same thing though. just higher chance. Okay, that's potentially interesting. Already. I don't know if it sounds better than Smite. Area looks kinda ass. But, I don't know, maybe. Then Divine Blast. Project a beam of holy light from your shield to a targeted location from your shield. Causing explosion of holy energy. This energy then lingers for a short duration before blasting outwards in a larger area, more damaging explosion. Base of physical damage, added fizz, armor, base duration 0.5 seconds, conversion to fire. Yeah. Probably not gonna use that. Well, probably. And the Holy Sweep. Swings a two-handed mace or staff in a circle, calling down holy hammers to land randomly a number of enemies struck. Each one of these holy hammers cannot be evaded. Okay. Converted to lightning, 440 with 70% attack speed. Hammers deals less damage. 8 hammers, up to 8 enemies struck. Well, they look okay, these skills. I don't know if they're like anything like close to being overpowered or something. This one maybe. Maybe this one, depending on how exactly these holy hammers... I wonder if they're like a kind of like shotgun. First hammer, each cascade deals up to 100% more damage. Holy hammer from above. On hitting an enemy, another hammer will cascade forward. I mean, maybe? Power charge can be expended to deal more damage and additional hammers to either side. I wonder. But how do you free... I don't know, man. It's not a strike skill, though. It's not a strike skill, it's a slam. That is potentially interesting. I have to say, for a slam, it has very low attack damage multiplier. But it's perhaps because of the shotgunning, you know, thing. Endgame revised, we're gonna watch that in a second. Okay, so we just have tier 16 maps and then tier 16.5 still in the game, which are going to be by far the best. Tier 16.5s are going to be broken, something tells me. I mean, something tells me they're going to be expensive as hell. 16.5s are going to be freaking crazy good. Because obviously you have additional juice compared to tier 16s. So that's big. Shaped regions. I don't know how I feel about not having tier 17s anymore. I kind of don't know how I feel about that. Shaped regions are extremely interesting though, because you still have 16.5s, so you still have the juice from them, right? And then you can do something like this for blood. Dude, the juice in this league is going to be off the freaking charts. The juice is going to be so insane. And the best part about this is that every mechanic just got something new, interesting. So every mechanic can be broken on paper. Holy. Treasures of weight is this thing. 40 exceptional support. Bro, I have to say, like, they added so much shit for just few months. They added so much stuff. Supported any skill gem. Cannot support skills that don't come from gems. Eclipse support. 100% increased experience, plus 1 level, and 12% quality. Oh. I wonder what happens at level 4. Probably more quality, right? Probably more quality. Yo, requires level 76. Requires 273 strength, dexterity, and intelligence. Wow. Plus 12% quality. In 1 level. I wonder, dude. Oh, hold on. And the cost and the reservation multiplier is lower. This also works like Enlighten at the same time, kinda. Wow. Wow, so it's kind of like a lower... It's kind of like a weaker Enlighten, but also... Wow. What's up, Mary? Long time no see. How are you doing? Block Sewed Banner Support. Supported skills increase area of effect. Cost life instead of mana. Banners inflict corrupted blood every second to enemies within area. Oh, that's okay. I'm not even reading that. In the Hex Toad, we saw that it's a frog. Not interested. So this, and the exceptional rogue exile. Bro, I wonder if it's gonna work with the ritual thing. Holy smokes. If this works with the ritual thing, that you will be able to see like freaking some insane loot explosions. Something tells me. Nightmare map. Okay, let's take a look. Upgrade the void. Endgame is getting some other changes. The way void stones work with change. Blah blah blah. Tier 7 has received significant changes to better align with the original design. Oh, so the nightmare maps are basically tier 17s now. Okay. They are now called nightmare maps and are tier 16, with their primary purpose being to obtain Uber boss fragments. So, well, the more Scarab's maps and currency modifiers are just way freaking lower. Right? I wonder. Was working outside of country, just came back yesterday, pretty happy with the league. I see. Welcome back, Mary. It's good to see you. Yeah, we seem to. It seems like we're gonna have banger over league. It does freaking seem like so. We have a no life league incoming. Hope everything is fine. Flesh of Zesh. Transfer a breach unique item to alternative form. Oh, that's kind of nice. Ivern support. Okay, so this is this thing. That's whatever. Additional unstable breach. Oh, that's honestly breach can be very strong. The breach can be very strong. You know, you can do the regular breach, right? Not the freaking cancer one. The regular breach when you just open the portal and there you go. So that's really nice. 7 breaches in area contain a boss. Breach hives in area lead to Hive Fortress. Breach actually can be useful. All right, let's watch the let's watch the entire thing. Where can I find where can I find the entire thing? On YouTube probably. Path of Exile. Mirage. Should be uploaded, right? They didn't upload it? Where can we find that? I guess we can. I guess we can do it from Twitch as well. That's fine. Okay, let's watch from the beginning. El Truco's Breacher User builds. Yep. Tell you what.
Trapping the Jinn there.
I am going to skip the part of Mirage.
Realm
I don't really care about that.
As an example.
Choose what you wish.
That to an enter. This has some side effects.
Like more or less, I remember I was watching that. After that, we started DCing all the time.
Factions of a legion. Effect of either prefix or suffix modifiers. Its rusted and jagged edge.
We're gonna figure everything out anyway when we see the freaking stuff, right?
But thieves, and have over the centuries stolen away priceless Mariketh artifacts. Using their powers of rot and disease, they have twisted these items to suit their own purposes. Flesh Render is one such artifact, an ancient and exquisite Mariketh blade that has been tarnished and Flesh Render, for example, transforms into Sky Sunder.
Fierce damage, damage over time, crit, all of it converted to fire. Ignite are reflected back to you. Oh. Less duration of ignites. Ignites you inflict through the weapon other enemies within 2.8 meters affected by ignite. Okay, so you are immune to ignite, but perma-ignite yourself. I guess there's something that you can do with that, but dude, this item, it has negative damage, man. Does the damage will matter on ignite? It will still, right? It still will because it's based on the fire damage, right? I don't even know how
original
ignite works in
Mariketh blade
PvP1.
that radiates with the glowing heat of the desert sun. When you ignite monsters, Sky Sunder reflects that ignite back to you, which proliferates to nearby enemies in a massive area. If you meddle with the ignite monsters,
but this area, it says 2.8 meters, guys. This is freaking massive, actually. This is actually, like, this is insanely huge for a proliferation effect. 2.8 meters is massive. This will basically, like, you just clear screens with this, not gonna lie. This is a massive prolif radius. It really is.
Sky Sunder reflects that you may draw the eye of exclusive items.
You have Diamond Shrine buff while affected by no flasks. You have Resistance Shrine buff while affected by no flasks. 30 Intelligence, 28 Chaos Resistance. Yo, what? What? We have Headhunter. Dude, that's crazy. A guaranteed crit always, regardless of what support you have or like freaking how much crit. It doesn't matter. You always crit. And that's plus 10 to max res and 50 all res. And you know what you can do with this on top of that? You can do, you can get this, hold on. You can get this. Can't use utility flasks are disabled. And you have +1 ring slot. +1 ring slot, and you always crit, and you have +10 to max res. What? Like, and from +10, like you don't even need this thing anymore, right? You just get easy 90 all res, easy peasy, super easy. Or like at least like 88 or 89. At this point, it doesn't matter. Bro, that is crazy. This belt. Of course, you have no Mage Blood, but not every build like super turbo benefits from Mage Blood. +1 ring slot, literally, and you always crit, and you wow. Yo, Exile, not you know how freaking broken freaking helicals are, right? The mirrored helicals. For strength, for stat stackers, this is potentially absurdly OP. This thing. I think there is a chance that this is beyond freaking broken. Wow, what a disgusting belt. Wow.
Yours for the taking, if you're able to defeat him. So that's the Mirage League. Now, to face all the new evils, you
Bro, these guys say 1 chaos for that. What?
Might want some righteous Witches can also cause cascading down a hammer of justice from the sky.
Oh, hold on.
New transfigured gems. Let's go over a few examples. With holy hammers, you slam the ground to call down a hammer of justice from the sky. If this hits an enemy, an additional holy hammer will cascade forwards, which itself can further cascade, and so forth. Expending a power charge when using the skill will call...
This is so good for your build. For which one? Because Brutus gets insane crit really easy. And then the Inquisitor also. Super easy. But on paper, you could drop Inquisitor and pick a different class. And this is when it would start getting interesting. You could do that, right? On paper. So you don't need Inquisitor anymore for that anymore. Like, you can just get something else.
Pull down an additional 2 hammers, which can also cause cascading slams. The more numerous your foes, the more instruments of holy judgment.
Okay, I take it.
Sweep is also called.
I take it back. This skill looks kind of broken. I wonder how single target is though.
Cascading slams. The more numerous your foes, the more instruments of holy judgment. Sweep is an old skill. In fact, it is so old that it's one of the very first skills ever implemented in Path of Exile, over 15 years ago.
Sweep.
It's been long overdue for some attention. With 328, it has been reworked into Holy Sweep. This skill converts some of your physical damage to lightning, with shiny new effects to match.
Sion,
Some enemies struck by the initial sweep will have hammers of light batter them from above. These hammers cause area damage where they land, so clustered enemies are demolished by repeated impacts.
Honestly, sweep is freaking viable now.
When successfully hitting an enemy with Holy Strike, you'll summon forth a floating holy armament, a glowing mace that follows you closely. These weapons are minions, and will attack with Holy Strike themselves whenever you do. These holy armaments will copy the stats of your main hand weapon to deal their damage.
Honestly, this skill was also interesting, but I don't know what about like shotgunning, and I don't know what about like how much area you would be able to get with that. But other than that, it's kind of interesting.
And against your foes with Shield of Light, a retaliation skill which will allow you to unleash a cone of holy light upon enemies after blocking a hit with your shield. Additional cones of light will also pour forth from your nearby allies when you hit with the skill, allowing you to recruit your holy army to create purging light.
As for Guardian.
Divine Blast emits a beam of holy light from your shield, coalescing into a hovering ball of energy. A few moments later, this unstable orb bursts, exploding outward with divine power. Halo supports melee attacks.
Honestly, if you could support that with like multiple projectiles, I wonder if you can. This is Divine Blast, right? Oh, it's not even a projectile skill. Oh, never mind. It's not even projectile skill. I wonder what you could do with this. I wonder what you could do with this.
Using them to inflict a new debuff, Hallowing Flame. Hallowing Flame builds up as charges on enemies, getting consumed when attacked. Consuming a stack of Hallowing Flame gives the attack that consumed it a significant amount of extra fire damage.
Wait, hold on a second. This smite kind of looks big here, no?
Hallow supports melee attacks, causing them to inflict a new debuff, Hallowing Flame. Hallowing Flame builds up as charges on enemies, getting consumed when attacked.
His smite is pretty big.
Consuming a stack of Hallowing Flame gives the attack that consumed it a significant amount of extra fire damage. But
wait, smites last 6 seconds? Like regular smite lasts 4. Did they buff smite? Legitimately? There's no freaking way, guys. And also, why is it so big? No way they buffed smite, dude. Like, smite is literally 4 seconds. There's no way. Unless this guy has like 50% duration or something. Smite is Smite is 4 seconds, dude. They buffed Smite, I think. Maybe. Unless this guy has a lot of duration and stuff.
Only those who did not inflict the Hallowing Flame are able to consume it.
But this area also is pretty freaking massive, so I don't know.
Perfect for those of you who enjoy a more supportive playstyle with your army of Holy Sentinels. Or friends.
No way.
When they're online. We've also added sources of this debuff to a number of other places, such as unique items.
Hold on. What's the rate when you deal increased rarity, inflict Hallowing Flame on hit? Nobody's gonna use that.
Cluster jewels.
Oh. Holy Ward.
And the Guardian Ascendancy Club.
Holy Flame on melee hit, you can inflict one Howling Flame. Gain 10% physical as extra lightning damage for each Howling Flame that have removed by an ally hit recently, up to 80%. That's Guardian stuff.
We also have another batch of new Transfigured gems, with many of these being variants for gems which previously had none. One example is the Shockwave Totem of Authority, which casts its higher damage dealing Nova at your location instead of its own. You might also enjoy Orb of Storms of Squalls. These storms warp directly to targets when you use lightning skills, and arc lightning upon doing so. This gives you a mobile storm of destruction that follows you as you dive into battle.
Bro, that's gotta be like one of the most popular freaking skills this league, something tells me. There's gotta be instant teleporting and freaking destroying everything with this. The numbers on this are pretty good. I mean, it doesn't freaking matter, like you're gonna go freaking Archmage anyway.
We'll leave the rest of the Transfigured skills for you to comb through in the patch notes. Speaking of the patch notes, as always, we love to shake up the meta, so we've done a bunch of balance adjustments to a few other things as well, such as a pass on Bloodline class.
Okay, this one is minimum and maximum. Okay, I see. So this is definitely stronger, although I mean, if you're at your maximum and minimum at the same time, there's some strong combinations here, right? It's not hard to be at your maximum and minimum at the same time, I guess. It's not hard. Like for example here, Discipline and Wrath, you can be easily at 3, and there you go. With something.
Expanded the passives available to the Templar section of the passive tree.
This is interesting,
and
though.
Various improved other things as well, such as a pass on Bloodline classes. Expanded the passives available.
This is interesting. This is interesting. This is like accuracy or something, and this is aura, I think. Yo, this potentially is really good, by the way.
To the Templar section of the passive tree, and various improvements to existing holy themed skills such as Static Strike, Holy Flame Totem, and Dominating Blow.
Somebody tells me that Spike got buffed.
We're also doing our usual improvement to some of the least played ascendancy classes. This time with a focus on Guardian.
Every 4 seconds, remove curses and almonds. Every 4 seconds, regenerate 100% of your life over 1 second. Bro, what type of improvement is that? Nobody takes that garbage ever still. Well, they didn't even do anything. What do you mean? They didn't do anything with that. Oh, they changed it from curses and elemental ailments to ailments. Okay, thanks, dude. Oh my lord, man. Who's gonna freaking take that garbage, man?
And Warden.
Hold up. +3. Lose 1 bark when hit by enemy spell damage, and damage taken for each damage hit by bark. Okay. Bro, Warden has so many freaking skills. What the hell?
Speaking of ascendancies, let's talk about the Scion and her new Reloquarian ascendancy class. For those that have played the Legacy of Frisia events, this class will seem familiar. The Reloquarian is a learned Scion that has studied history at the Oriath Academy. She is a part of a secret society of Oriathans, dedicated to collecting and discerning the strange properties of unique items. All of her passive powers come from these.
Armor from equipped shield is doubled. 10% block attack damage. Gain no armor from equipped body armor. Armor from equipped shield is doubled. I mean, I don't know.
Unique items found from throughout Rayclast. After ascending, First, select the power of a unique armor. Victario's influence increases the level of all your auras and gives them a much larger area of effect.
+2 level to auras.
Or instead, take Kilowava's Bluster, giving you a chance to have extreme elemental resistance against incoming hits. Next, pick from a unique weapon power.
Sub Brown.
Widow Hail greatly increases the bonuses gained from your quiver.
Okay, that's crazy.
Or Martyr's Teaching, which causes your minions' critical strike chance with attacks to be equal to your main hand weapons. Lastly, pick your Crown Jewel, a unique jewelry power. Astral Projector causes Nova spells to cast from enemies rather than from yourself. Or take Astramentus, simply giving you a huge boost to all your attributes.
Yo, 60 to all attributes?
Due to all the ways you can mix and match unique powers, the Reloquarian has more flexibility in how you build it compared to any other Ascendancy class in the game. Our plan going forward is for the Reloquarian to not be a static Ascendancy class, and between each expansion, the unique powers which are offered will change. If you don't like what she offers this expansion, hopefully she'll have the power of your favorite unique item in the next one.
So the Scion is gone from the game forever, and that's how they're gonna do Scion. Like every freaking 4 months or 3 months or something, you're gonna have new uniques basically. Gonna have new Ascendancy. That kind of sucks because you know what I mean, right? You have your build and then like in 4 months this build is gone. But at the same time, it's like, it's kind of interesting.
Time to move on to the endgame. With this expansion, we are aiming to liven up the endgame, giving players new experiences, strategies to leverage, and streamlining or removing the more frustrating tasks. Extensive changes will be coming to the Atlas and how you engage with maps, without interfering with the beloved core experience that has made mapping so successful. In the last few endgame updates, you experienced Zana's story, how she helped defeat the Elder, tried to stop exiles from going mad in the Atlas, and faced new threats pouring forth from it. In the most recent expansion, she eventually realized that there was only one way forward, to destroy the Atlas. Zana's recent actions have now weakened the already strained and tattered edges of its realities, reshaping how we interact with the Atlas entirely. To explain how this changes your interactions with the Atlas, we first want to establish some context while having a bit of a trip down memory lane. 27 expansions ago, back in Path of Exile 3.1.0, the War for the Atlas, we had a mechanic on the Atlas where the Shaper and Elder were engaged in war. This manifested as influence regions on the Atlas that affected specific maps. The ever-changing
Everyone's
influence
crying here,
regions
please
made
no.
the Atlas feel more like a physically connected space, rather than just a fancy way of visualizing a checklist of completed maps. However, one of the main frustrations with this mechanic was that you constantly needed many different specific maps in order to manipulate the influenced regions. We realized we'd love to again have mechanics that manifest physically on your Atlas, but we'd have to address the issue of always needing those specific maps. The first major change we'll be making to solve this is divorcing map items from specific areas.
What do you guys think about this? Like, no more specific maps anymore. It's just like they're just like set in stone. That means that you're never ever like selling strands again, right? You're never selling like you know, tier 16 maps because there's gonna be like people will have too many of them, most likely. There's going to be abundance, unless for some reason they're going to be rare or something, but I don't think so. At least tier 16.5s are going to be expensive.
As an example, instead of having a Mesa map, you will now find, say, a tier 10 map. To open a Mesa map now, just locate and select Mesa on your Atlas, put in your map item, click activate, and you're good to go. That Mesa may drop a tier 11 map. You can then immediately return to your map device, which will default to the last map run, and then run it again.
You like it?
Or choose a new map to use it on. It's your choice.
I mean, functionality...
This is one of the many benefits to the...
when it comes to functionality, this doesn't really change much, right? It's just a little bit more convenient. But for people that want to run the same shit over and over and over again, it doesn't change really anything, right? And for other people, I guess it's nice.
This change, which is that if you are the type of player who enjoys painting the same map over and over, or the type of player who prefers to jump around, it is equally easy to do either strategy or even switch between them at a moment's notice.
Way better, close spammer.
For example, if one day you're farming burial chambers, hoping to eventually get a headhunter from divination cards, and you decide you need a change of rhythm, you can seamlessly swap to your boss farming atlas tree and spam Mesa for peak boss killing efficiency. Up until now, this would have required having some Mesa maps stashed, setting all your favored maps to Mesa, or doing a whole bunch of trading.
I mean, that is true. That is so much better.
You'll also notice that the structure of the atlas has changed. If you haven't played in a while, here's a look at it before and after. You will now begin at the center of the atlas, with each corner housing one of 4 voidstone slots. In addition, all content accessed from your map device now exists physically on the atlas, so you can see everything available in the endgame as you reveal the Fog of War. This also means that all unique maps are now present on the atlas, including some old favorites that are appearing for the first time. Don't worry though, you don't need to complete Hall of Grandmasters every league.
GG
You
noobs.
now gain 1 atlas skill point per unique map completed, up to a maximum of 10. Given there are around 20 unique maps, you only need to complete the half you want, if you can get your hands on them. Note, you are...
How many did we have before? It's 138 points now. How many did we have before? There's more now, right? Surely there's more. They boosted the amount a little bit.
Aren't losing any atlas skill points.
Which is nice.
These have been moved to new places, and actually, you can get more than before. Due to Zana's actions, Egan now has a new goal and is determined to stop Zana's destruction by making use of a mysterious new discovery, Arcane Astrolabes. Zana is currently traversing the threads that weave the atlas together, severing them. With these new astrolabes, Egan is able to trace her movement, but using them causes dangerous side effects. When you use an astrolabe on a map on the atlas, a shaped region will manifest itself in that quadrant, affecting many of the maps within it. There are many different kinds of astrolabes, and they apply different types of shaped regions. For example, an abyssal region, which causes all the maps to have an additional abyss. Or a blighted region, which adds a blight encounter.
Bro, this blight thing on like a 16.5s with all the stuff that they added, and on top of that, this new thing, the merge. Holy moly.
Completing the content added by the astrolabe will remove the shaped region's influence from that map.
Yeah, double the mechanics.
Upon doing so,
they're going to be boosted.
Every other map remaining in the shaped region will gain an additional modifier. This means as you progress through the shaped region, maps you run will become more and more intense, with the relevant mechanic getting more and more juiced. Finally, at the end of the region of maps, once you have successfully rid the atlas of the shaped region, Egan will take you to one of 4 memory vaults, where there are powerful rewards to be had. He cares only for the knowledge hidden within that vault, so any items are yours for the taking. Each vault is associated with a specific quadrant on the atlas, so you're able to target a certain vault if you're wanting to try get a specific type.
Now, something tells me that in the future they're gonna replace heist with this. I can't be wrong about that, but nah, they worked so hard on the heist. Would they like actually freaking get it? Like, I don't know, man.
Of reward. One such vault is the Archon's Vault, where you'll be rewarded with powerful unique items. Or the Zealot's Vault, to acquire valuable currency items.
80% from merge in the blight area could be crazy loot. Yeah, with
this
all
new
these
shaped region system is one that promotes running many different maps. But for players that want to engage with this new system,
completing a map objective within the shaped region instead of collapse a different map within the shaped region. Okay, so with this keystone you can keep on running the same map over and over and over again, which is freaking amazing for that, right? Which means that these items will be used perma all the freaking time. All the time they will be used.
While still wanting to run the same map over and over again, the synthesized stability keystone on the Atlas tree enables exactly that. With all the new endgame changes, we thought it would be also good to mention some handy tips and tricks for quickly navigating the new Atlas. When using the map device, the Atlas defaults to your previously run map, so running the same map over and over is as few clicks as possible.
Okay.
You can right-click unique maps or map fragments in your inventory to automatically open your Atlas to that location with the map already placed and ready to run. When you select a special area that requires multiple items, such as to fight at Zeri or open the Domain of Timeless Conflict, if you have the fragments to access that in your inventory, it will automatically add them to the map device in the right spot.
Okay, that's nice. Very nice.
That's the core of the new endgame. But there's a lot more endgame changes coming in 3.28.
Most items might be worthless next league with all the changes. Why do you think that? Why do you think that items will be worthless?
Let's blast through them.
Because of how juiced everything is going to be, and everything is going to be worthless because of that? We'll see.
Over the last few expansions, we've been working on streamlining the mapping experience. And we wanted to continue to minimize busy work, so you can spend more time doing what you love.
Nice filter.
Killing monsters and getting loot. To that end, we've made a number of changes. We won't get into too much detail, but here's a quick summary of what you can expect to have received adjustment. We've removed cartographer's chisels and map device crafts entirely. The loss of content and loot here.
What do you guys think about removing, like, master missions? Because I saw before that it's going to be plus 25% quant over here. You know what that means, right? That means that farming corrupted 8-modded maps with the there's going to be, you could put, that's actually going to be interesting. That is going to be really interesting, because with the blight map farming strat now, you find tier 16 maps that are corrupted, and they're going to be 25% quality still because of this thing. That is really interesting, honestly. And it doesn't matter what type of map you're finding, because they're going to be tier 16s. It's every single map. You're just finding 8-modded corrupted ones. Like, you think that there is a potential for some crazy freaking money making by just farming tier 16 blighted strat? I think so. I think there's a chance.
Has been compensated for in other places. Voidstones now grant special global bonuses while
I guess a tier higher, a drop to area is converted to gold. Tier 1 to 15 maps dropped in areas are converted to gold, so they're not dropping at all. That wasn't before in the game. Eldritch Houses have 30% chance to have additional upside and downside from the older Eldritch influence type. Was that in the game before? Maps have 20% chance to have either shape or elder influence when opened. That wasn't in the game. Tier 16 maps dropped in areas have 0% chance to become Nightmare. So this is going to be tier 17s basically. Where each socketed Voidstone.
Or socketed on your Atlas.
I mean, these Nightmare maps are still going to be expensive, by the way. Just not as much, but it is going to be money.
Including adding the new Originator Voidstone, which enables specific Atlas bosses to drop exceptional supports. We'll elaborate more on that in the next section. T17 maps as you know it have effectively been removed. The bosses have been kept around, and they better fulfill their original purpose of being a gateway to target farm uber pinnacle bosses. The most annoying modifiers on Originator maps have been removed or replaced. No more getting turned into a slug for simply using skills.
We don't need to be a trickster or a jug anymore. Nice.
And no more will you be incapable of dealing damage periodically. Petal skills and originator maps have been removed. However, some of their effects are now available from the altars and memory threads.
Your monster have consumed as much as possible to convert the dropped. Oh, so hold on. Let me hear that once again.
Petal skills and originator maps have been removed. However, some of their effects are now available from the altars and memory threads.
Okay, that's nice.
Memory tears, instead of adding a memory thread to your atlas, will now drop an itemized version of that thread, allowing you to save it for later or trade it at your leisure.
That's nice.
We've added new scarabs.
That's really nice.
Such as this Expedition Scarab of Infusion, which can generate some truly tempting logbooks.
Oh.
And for those of you looking to take on the ultimate one-on-one fight, the Anarchy Scarab of the Exceptional will place a true antagonist-level rogue exile threat in your map.
Imagine a full juice like map with like this exile with the ritual thing, you know, the ritual farming.
Powered by every type of Wildwood Wisp, possessed by a tormented spirit, augmented with rare monster modifiers, and affected by a shrine, this exile is not to be trifled with. Alongside that, we've also changed some, such as the Beyond Scarab of Resurgence, which now causes all 3 Beyond bosses to appear when a Beyond boss would spawn in your map.
That's actually nice. That's actually not bad at all. This can be really good early. These Beyond bosses do drop like tainted fusings from time to time. So having 3 at the same time, that's kind of nice.
On top of that, we've made improvements to a number of weak Atlas Tree passives.
Hold on.
Here.
And on top of that, Beyond bosses drop 20% increased currency. Oh.
When a Beyond boss would spawn in your map. On top of that, we've made improvements to a number of weak Atlas Tree passives, such as Pillage and Plunder, which now grants a chance for items dropped by Syndicate members to have a Fractured Veiled mod. Check out the new The Paths Not Taken keystone, which means your maps on average will drop twice as many divination cards.
That Fractured Veiled modifier is actually not bad, honestly. You could get some good stuff right there from that.
But which ones can drop will be a mystery.
You could get some really good stuff and then, for example, like, I don't know, have like a Fractured early on, like Strength Intelligence Veiled mod on your ring, and then just freaking slam Deafening Essence of Rage for strength. And there's so many options, actually, with that. There's actually a lot of options.
And
but obviously it's only 5%. Veiled items are like defeated is a 5% to chance of Fractured Veiled modifier. Have you seen the new essence? I have. There's most of these stats I think were pretty garbage, but there is some that are pretty good. Like, for example, I don't know about this body armor. Maybe for like what do you call it? For ward builds, 90% increased global defenses if there is no defense modifiers on their equipped items. No defense modifiers. I mean, nah, I don't know about that. No defense modifiers. I mean, this could be... I take it back. This could be actually freaking insane, maybe. 90% if there's no defense modifiers. No, but like, you're pretty much never gonna have a situation where... I mean... It's possible, actually, to make it work. No defense tag, 1 red body armor, and the rest uniques. Yeah, and almost every single unique in this game has a defense tag. You know? Because increased energy shield is a defense tag. Increased armor is a defense tag. Increased evasion is a defense tag. All that shit is defense. So with unique items, you're not going to make it work. I don't think so. 4% armor applies to fire, cold, lightning damage taken from hits if you have blocked recently. That's potentially kind of freaking cracked on some builds also. Some of them are really good though, I will say. This is really insane, right? Like you basically have you're basically gonna have additional support. This can be made very good, very strong in some combinations, I think. Like, there's some really good level 1 support gems that don't really scale that hard, but they're a good level 1. What build are you thinking? I might try RF Chieftain for the first time. You know, we have our safe option, which is Brutus of Divine Judgment. It does seem like, it's just my prediction, but it does seem like they buffed Smite. To me, area looked really big on the showcase over there, and the Smite base duration was 6 seconds from 4. I think they buffed Smite unironically. I think they did. But we'll see about that. If they buffed Smite, like, I legitimately have no freaking other options, and we're just doing Brutus of Divine Judgment again. Like, what options do we have? Like what? This is already a very good league starter. A very good league starter. If they buffed Smite, then I don't even hesitate. I just freaking go for that. Like, legitimately. Imagine Mirage Archer and Lightning Arrow or something.
Which means your maps on average will drop twice as many divination cards. But which ones can drop will be a mystery. And last, but not least, we've also made some changes to King's March shipping, such as we've swapped the rewards given by sending ore and crops. I wonder what this new port will send back. Ports will now give more rewards for favoured resources, and you can even re-roll them for gold, if they're not offering what you're after. Specific ports will now reward specific tattoos and rune grafts, making it easier to target the ones you want. Not to mention, the Kalgurans have discovered several new powerful rune grafts for you to get your hands on, such as the Rune Graft of Fury, which causes you to gain rage on using a life flask, and the Rune Graft of Resurgence, which causes Arcane Surge to also grant life regeneration. We mentioned earlier about the Originator Voidstone, enabling access to exceptional...
Very good support at level 1 is Rage support. You get 3 Rage on hit and get 10% attack speed. True. That's pretty busted. Yeah. That's like really, really good. The level 1 Fortify, in my opinion, is insane, because you don't have to worry, you always freaking Fortify on hit. That's freaking crazy, right? And you have more melee damage bonus. There's so many good level 1 support gems. So many.
Supports. So let's get into that, as there's a decent amount to cover. After defeating the incarnations of Fear, Neglect, and Dread, you will obtain the Originator Voidstone. As mentioned earlier, this Voidstone allows new, exceptional support gems to drop from many bosses across the Atlas. These new supports are an improvement over the old Awakened support system, which is being phased out. Awakened supports have long been a capstone investment for a character.
Level 3 max. Oh. Less area of effect, less damage, supported area, skills, affect areas, front, behind, and on each side of targeted area. Okay, but what's the... Oh, so... Okay, so awakened gems are gone completely? I wasn't freaking listening. Awakened gems are gone completely, or what? And then they got replaced by these greater supports, which will be dropped by certain bosses. Is that correct? I mean, not gonna lie, this greater spell cascade is freaking better. It's way better than this awakened spell cascade level 5. It's actually way better. What the hell?
But there's existed a gulf between the more interesting ones, such as awakened spell cascade, which has some additional transformative effect, as opposed to some of the simpler awakened supports, which just have slightly higher numerical values. Exceptional supports will all be transformed.
Oh, hold on. Support greater multi-strike. 3 additional times, 50% more melee attack speed, less attack damage 20%, and 22, 44, 66. What is the freaking default right now? So what is the default right now? Let's give it quality. So the default is, it's basically the same. It's this one is better. It has 3% more melee attack speed. That's it. Is there any other changes? I don't think so. Nope. Let's say 3% more melee attack speed.
Serving as an additional late game tool to customize your build around, and extending character customization and creation even later into a build's life. One of the goals here is to provide interesting build choices,
some of them might be really good,
and deep into the endgame. However, we are certainly not aiming to reduce top-end player power with these changes. Exceptional supports will still be super strong. If used well, they will catapult your character even further than before. So, how many are there, and what exactly do they do? There are over 40 new exceptional supports to discover, adding additional enticing drops to bosses that may otherwise have felt not as worthwhile to run.
Man, I'm so
giving
curious
players
what these
extra
are.
reason to take on those challenges. For instance, from the King in the Mists, we have the Hex Toad support. This support creates areas of swampy, cursed ground,
Can get ball smite with it
that bounce towards enemies and then explode, dealing chaos damage. From the Uber Elder, we have the Void Storm support,
That's a good
which
point.
causes your raining attacks to create celestial storms of energy that grow over time, detonating as you approach for massive damage. Defeating the incarnation of
No, I doubt that they didn't make it so that means that every Vol skill pretty much is incapable of using these. I doubt they didn't like, you know, get us a workaround.
Neglect may win you the Frost Mage support. Similar to the existing Archmage
really
support, you are rewarded for stacking mana to enhance your spells with extraordinary cold damage. We'll tease some more of these before launch, but there will be many, many more for you to discover. Keepers of the Flame is coming back. What it was. If you want Slot and Scarab support, we've added plenty of which you can double up on opening the current custom places.
Okay, we pretty much saw the rest.
Next up, armor set. This change shatter into links as you batter enemies.
Alright, so, well, we need patch notes, man. There is so much freaking stuff that we don't know of. They said that they're gonna update or like buff or something like that the holy skills. Dude, like if there is more holy skill than smite, then I don't know what it is. But the most exciting part is that they freaking added this the 6-second duration on smite, and the area was bigger for sure. I'm really curious if they actually like freaking if they buffed smite. I'm really curious, because what this guy in the showcase could be running with is just this mastery, right? 50% aura skills have 50% increased duration, so it goes from 4 to 6 seconds. He could have that, but I mean, I don't know. Eclipse support? Well, where do we have Eclipse support? Oh, this thing, yeah. That's freaking crazy, by the way. This is Diala's and Enlighten at the same time, but look at the requirements. It's 273 strength, dexterity, and intelligence, but it has 94%. So this is almost like a Enlighten 3, and +1 to skills, and +12% quality at the same time. Not gonna lie, that could be freaking busted in some places. And I wonder what +1 corruption does, right? Level 4. I'm really curious. But this one is crazy. This one is really crazy. And then we have what? We have block so banner support. That's kind of like, yeah. Yep. I wonder when we're gonna have patch notes. It's still kind of early, right? It's still kind of early. So this is probably gonna last for a long time still. I mean, we can listen to it, I guess.
But just the continued problem solving, I guess.
Definitely have more resources for solving issues.
Great.
That is 100%
That's the main thing ultimately, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, like the keepers thing, it's like, okay, the walls, if there's still a problem, just tell us. We'll just keep fixing it. We can test as much as we can test, but obviously people have different levels of what's acceptable and what's not.
I can tell them right now, fix the walls.
Try and think of all these.
Remove the walls.
We've made a whole bunch of changes. It's going in. Tell us how you feel afterwards, and we'll just address it if it's still a problem. Like that's the actual straightforward solution. Hopefully it's not, we're gonna, I mean, even today we're like, let's bump up the burn radius a bit as well, just to make it a bit less of a problem. They're now damageable, they're now smaller, hives are now smaller, the walls are smaller as well. And again, you can turn them off. You can just run unstable breaches, of which now it's an atlas tree. You can have many of them, and you can have multiple active at once.
I was going to ask about that,
breach had before.
That's an old breach thing. You'd have like a bunch of flash breaches overlapping. That wasn't available in Keepers. That is a thing again now. That's possible.
Yep.
Oh, great. That's good news.
Yep. You can just run.
Yeah, but the thing is that you don't even care if you're not running breach, right? If you're running breach exclusively, that these 5 points is completely irrelevant. And if you're not running breach, then you're almost never gonna find breach in your maps. So what does it freaking matter? You can also block it if you want. You can block it and never find breach. So the walls are, I don't know why they didn't remove them. Probably they wanted to keep breach more or less intact without freaking reworking it, because they added a lot of stuff this patch anyway. That's probably the main reason. And yeah. Why just freaking do it if nobody's gonna ever see these walls, right? Compared to before. So I guess it's kind of fine.
All are gonna do. Where's Zoff and Unatol? Where are they right now?
You were saying something about expanding on the breach story and breach swords, but it's not like you're gonna do breach 3 next league. So like,
maybe
how does that even
the
happen?
Harbingers taken them? Like, what's going on?
Oh, you reckon it's a blend in with another league or something, maybe? Huh?
No, I'm talking. This is my. I'm talking madness.
Okay.
But the point being, like, there's cool things to set up here. Epic new bosses, be it pinnacles or otherwise, to come in the future. And like, I understand people have a bit of attachment to a lot of this older content, but like
the old domain.
What do you guys think about this? This new anointment, this new belt, like implicit, can be anointed. Like that, I mean, it's obviously garbage for stat stackers, right? Because stat stackers want percent stat implicit. But I mean, it's hard to say, right? You can now combine notables from different cluster types. This changes everything. Wait, what? This is not small. Mirage Delirium can drop an orb that lets you reroll cluster jewel enchantments. But there is an actual bomb. You can reroll the enchantment while keeping a fractured notable. Yo, what the frick? I think he's right. I think he's right. You can have 2 different... Wow. Does that mean that you could have... Wow. Like, for example, introspection with... Wow. That's kind of crazy. But that means that megalomaniacs are completely dead. Also, these things will be so expensive, like a good ones, right? Wow, that's kind of crazy, dude. What's up, Hayabi?
Same discussion with things like fossils, right? Which I believe we've also made a change with now. Fossils are exclusive, or at least way more exclusively from Delve.
If we did our due diligence fully, then fossils should only be coming from Delve now.
Ooh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So we're kind of trying to make sure we're actually confining what makes a league special to what makes a league special, and not just letting it seep in everywhere. So yeah, that with the tree, no weapons for rare weapons at least is aiming that direction.
Is it like a major power nerf to the creation of jewelry and armor?
It's been tuned down, yeah.
6-link
I saw the
rate
6-linking thing was
down.
dropped down a bit. Yeah. Is it like 60 fusings instead of like 150 now?
Yeah, I think it was 1 in 10 items are 6 links before, which was a little bit extreme. So yeah, there's a balance pass as well, of course. Yes, because again, it's part of that like.
The 5 links and 6 links are still going to be insanely cheap.
They're at odds with one another, but also now that it's one of many optional leagues in the end game, it doesn't need to be doing everything, as good as it was doing. So,
I suspect it's still pretty good from my kind of like cursory glance over things. It looked like the fracturing was still there, I think, right? Like, you guys are planning on...
Andrew did all of the specific adjustments for this, so I'm not actually sure off the top of my head. This is why we need a bigger couch. We need Andrew here.
How do we do that?
Yeah, thanks for watching, Klaus Power. We're going to have patch notes in probably, I don't know, 30 minutes or something like that, so we're going to read those.
Someone
in QA might have found something that he needed to address.
He's and I'd like to reassure people, like, the development doesn't stop at the live stream at the announcement, you know what I mean? They're up there upstairs right now making changes, so we can only be so certain about without everyone here who's able to talk about it, but like we're 99% sure on everything. But
if I do my job well, you guys come up with some new changes that you go do after this too, so
yeah. Well, you're very good at coming and getting us to make a few last minute changes beforehand. I like it, actually.
Excellent. Good. Yeah. I like it too. I get to do what I want. I think the last thing was the high fortresses in Breach. They were initially fun, but they definitely became less so over time. I think just like a lack of variety. They got quite time consuming, and then some issues with difficulty and reward scaling, where like you couldn't quite scale them up all that much ultimately. I think like they scale with map mods, but I guess a lot of PoE1's scaling power now comes from like Scarabs and Atlas passives and stuff, so they didn't really get that.
I actually don't know if any specific changes have been made to that, and that's not to say there hasn't been.
I definitely saw one, which is the juicing buttons.
Yeah, there's a whole...
Oh, yeah, sure.
The main thing that would impact that is there's a whole suite now of Scarabs and Atlas passives that are related to, the Keeper's mechanic.
Sure.
And... those will apply to your hive fortresses, and so you can get things like the Enrage the Swarm buttons.
What do you guys think about this? Essentia Sanguis got buffed. It has freaking more lightning damage now. It's still slow, but 250 energy shield. And you have Ghost Reaver with double the energy shield recovery per second, which is 20%. And what else? Yeah. And you get... effects are not removed at full life. Wonder if you could do something with that. I mean, this damage is like obviously 0 effectively, but and then the Benos is gonna be insane because of this 3-meter radius. The poison prolif is gonna be freaking cracked beyond belief, something tells me. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty crazy. Very expensive.
They're adding different things and interactions and stuff. It's part of the benefit of the Atlas tree and the Scarab system is that we get to do that with pretty much everything. We get to have 5 different ways of playing every league, and that's awesome.
I'm already excited to, if it goes core, which is not a decision we'll make for a while, but come up with Atlas passives for Mirage or Scarabs for Mirage.
You're already starting to think about what you can do.
Have stuff in my back pocket.
Okay, cool. Half the size and do something, double the size and do something. There's like so many different options there. Yeah.
This is a Warpro because I'm realizing we just haven't even like talked about the core Endgame. Well, it's like, you guys redid the Atlas by the way. We haven't got to that yet.
We put a lot in this one.
So, the change to map, I call it that because it's just like, it's not June's map anymore, it's just map. Just kind of made me giggle the first time I see it. So, what's the quality of life around this, for one. I like that you led with that as part of the showcases, like, here's all the quality of life bonuses that this means. Oh yes.
I mean, it's a pretty big deal. I know that there's this immediate, and even internally, like, you have this like, this is what we're doing, and people are like, what? Hold on, there's like a shock factor, like, wait, but then you get to explain, like, here's all the benefits we get from it, here's the bloat we get to take out.
Do you think that Awakened Ancestral Call and the regular Ancestral Call are going to get buffed? Because legitimately, I feel like, I don't know about Awakened Ancestral Call, it seems okay. I think that regular Ancestral Call is like one of the worst freaking supports in the game. gives you a damage penalty, and sure, we get 2 clones, but later on, it's so easy to get those clones from different sources. I don't know. I wonder if they're going to touch strike skills, generally speaking. I'm really curious if they actually buffed Smite or not.
Yeah, by the way, there's Harbinger orbs. Yep. You got rid of chisels at the same time as well. Finally,
just base chisels. Just base chisels, by the way. Maven's chisel still exists for clarification, but it's 1 chisel for 20 quality, just to be.
Oh, nice, good.
Yeah.
They were just so much. They were just like pointless busy work. I always
Maven
felt that
chisel,
way. Like, stupid chisels, I hate them.
You do get bonus quantity in your maps based on the completion of your atlas. So by the time you fully complete your atlas, you have slightly more quantity than what chisel would have previously provided.
Yeah, I know. You gotta like make sure they're like, oh, it's all right, guys. We didn't take that 20% away from you.
That's 25 now.
25. Right.
Well, and of course, you know, there's Voidstone mods which apply to your whole atlas. You've got
I mean, the whole Egan system.
Yeah, you've got and you got more Atlas passive points than before. You know, so there's lots of like
7 or 8.
Okay, that's bullshit. That doesn't change
anything.
It's
so nice
bro.
to be able to get rid of like there's this thing where like you just can't add infinite systems to the map device. It was kind of getting crazy, and I know we obviously got rid of the master buttons a way back. Now we've got rid of more of the stuff. It's like getting way more simple, and it's just like the process of using the map device, putting in your map, and running a map just being and rolling that map being as clean as possible.
Yeah.
And then being able to
3 clicks instead of I got 2 dozen. So.
And then being able to now, I mean, I'm excited for the future here, but being able to interact with your atlas as a physical space with mods and the stuff like that is really cool. Like, I am the kind of player, I think you are too, who likes to run. I like to run many different maps.
Yeah, I like having, sort of short to midterm goals in the end game, which is one of the reasons why I'm really excited for the whole Egan system, because it's like, ooh, now I know I'm going to run these 7 maps, and that'll give me a reward at the end, and also increasing juice as I do so. I don't know. I was going to then go into how you can sort of bisect them and stuff, but I feel like that might be getting too into the weeds.
No, I did want to ask you about that, because I didn't realize that from first watching it. It's pretty funny. Like, I saw the blobs and I was like, oh no, here we go again.
No, there's no elder ring management.
You have to make the elder eat the shape of the blob. Not thickly. You have to make sure it stays alive in its digestive tract. That's how you get the optimal.
No. The loop here is you put the blob. Okay, we have a better name than blob now, but that is the internal name.
Blob's a good name.
You put the blob on the atlas, then you run the maps in the blob. There's no like, I have to micromanage it to make sure that it's doing the exact right thing, and if I run the wrong map, then it's all ruined, and I have to spend 7 hours fixing it.
Especially because you can just take your map and just pod. If you just do them, right? Like, you don't have to be like, I don't have maps.
Yeah, I've noticed that these blobs, basically, effectively, what they do is the same thing that the originator maps do in those chain events, right? Because what they do is like you click the blob on the atlas on the map somewhere, right? And then you run the map, and then one of the maps gets consumed, and then you get additional juice. So it's literally just like running this shit, like 16.5, like originator thing, in sequence. This is effectively this. But the only difference is that you run your own map, which is obviously infinitely times better. And you run the map type that you want. So you can, for example, get like strand always, or like dunes always, or something.
Oh, that's a really cool
so you
idea.
have this like sort of...
Not gonna lie, some of them might be freaking juiced beyond belief.
Of my astrolabe that I used, or do I want to get to the vault as quickly as possible?
Yeah, so if you run like all of the outer areas of the blob and shrink it into the one last map, it'll be a super juice map.
It'll be very
Or you just cut it in half a couple times, and then you rush to the end scenario.
Which the main motivation behind that decision is it means that every astrolabe has a sort of minimum value.
Okay.
Like, maybe the meta shakes out so that people don't really use the Blight Astrolabe very much for its juicing for whatever reason.
Right.
Then that ends up being like, okay, well, I can buy those en masse and then go just blitz through them, do like 2 or 3 Blights and 2 or 3 maps to get to the vault and get that reward.
One.
Yeah, so there's like those subtle tactics.
Clever, yeah. And non-annoying. Like, this would be annoying if you had to like trace down the specific maps and like micromanage it, and it was moving around on you.
This is something I haven't explicitly discussed with Mark, so maybe he'll disagree with me. But I think what's really important about these Atlas sort of effects, I guess, these geographical events, is that they're transient. Like, you don't want something that is something you're going to have to manage for basically indefinitely. You want something that you engage with, it has an end, then you go again.
Term sort of
this is a really good system for making short to mid-term goals.
Okay.
Well,
yeah,
that is it achieves that goal very well. So yeah, good.
Awesome.
Just also, by the way, his blight thing was a hypothetical. I know people.
Sure, I have no idea what the players will think of what I don't. There will be an Astrolabe that is the cheapest one, right? I don't know which one.
I looked at you and saw in the corner of my eye, blight nerf, and I was like, no, wait. Well, there might be a blight.
Truth to every
there might be a blight
pulling on my microphone here. I'm getting too into
What do you mean blight nerf? Like,
it might be a blight nerf, but
I don't know.
No.
If Andrew was here, he would know.
I mean, I had a question for later. It's just like, blight's a bit buggy and laggy. You guys looking at that at some point?
You're not wrong.
Yep.
Yes. But it's just a limitation of that's what happens when you spawn that many things.
Yeah.
You just get too many things, and guess what? Nothing can handle that. So, but that's the kind of thing where it's like, no, they're going to remove half the stuff, and it's like that's part of the fun. And but yeah, like look.
When you had a blight ravage map, so you obviously don't. You're okay with a certain amount of that.
There's a little bit of crazy, sure, but like the answer might end up being like less objects, but objects are more valuable. Stuff like that. It's just a matter of that's a performance optimization issue more so than a balance problem in this regard. Not to say there isn't also a balance problem. There might
get 50, 70 blight is fine.
But the goal primarily there is to make the performance not such a horrendousness, and the only real way to do that is to reduce the amount of things being spawned and increase the value of those things to then compensate so that it isn't necessarily a nerf. It's like not a often there's like it's an engine thing, or like there's a back-end performance thing you can do. And maybe there is something you can optimize it here, but honestly this one is just a straight up like what they're going like, what do you expect to happen when you have this many things on screen at one time? And I'm like, I want all of my frame rate, but then they're like, yeah. So often there's like, is it an engine problem? Is it a programming optimization issue on the more like back end or instant?
I mean, he's so right. Like, there's just like there's stuff that I don't know if we're gonna try to, even in the most optimized thing of all time imaginable, if you're gonna try to spawn 20,000 things on your screen, it's just not going to work, right? You're gonna lose your FPS to like freaking 1 or like freaking frame a second or something. There's nothing you can do about that, right? Literally, there's nothing can be done. There's like a limitation of what we can do on freaking on the computers, and that's all there is to it.
You kind of like explained how that works then?
Well, one of the goals with we've done a lot of little changes. Well, some of them bigger than others. We've done a lot of changes. And one of the main driving goals was to make it so that T17s don't feel like simultaneously this access to Uber bosses and also just the absolute best pinnacle thing. You have to be doing this if you want to be competitive in the economy, right? Because there's 4 or 5 layouts for T17 maps, and
it was so restrictive.
If your endgame choices are there's 5 different maps you can do, but really 2 of them are better than the others, or maybe even one of them is, and so it just feels like
other maps.
Exactly. So. Yep, sure, barrels. And so one of the things right off the bat is I believe they now share the same mod pool as originator maps, correct?
Yes.
I'm 90% confident on that.
Yes, they do.
Which helps bring them in line with originator maps.
Yeah.
And they are also, if you're eagle-eyed, you may have noted that they are on the outer corners of the atlas and not within the inner quadrants, which means they're not affected by the new Egan system. So
they're separate.
Yeah, so if you want to be maximizing every layer of juice in the game, you are inherently not going to be in one of these new nightmare maps. You are going to be running originator maps within the Atlas quadrants to leverage the Egan system.
And you're choosing between the two potentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, what result? Ultimately, they're still decent to run. They're not like just ultra trash. However, they're more towards the boss.
Yeah.
Killing the boss, getting the boss keys.
That was the idea, right? To make them an access gate for...
And they're more deterministic in that regard as well. Each of the individual nightmare maps is associated with particular Uber boss fragments.
Right.
So that's kind of to help give them more identity in that
I
direction.
mean, they're still going to be expensive.
The access point to an Uber boss.
Yep.
can still farm them and sell them.
It's definitely just much easier now if you want a
for the
specific
fragments,
Uber
right?
boss
Especially in the beginning,
to go
something
and
tells me.
kill that specific Uber boss because you have the.
No, I mean pretty much
key
always. I mean there is some really good
it's
stuff.
a lot of
dropping
keywords.
from
It's like a key keyword, but you know, it's like you get a specific map item, so to speak. You can run any of them, and then each of them generally are better at target farming.
Now that I think about it, I wonder if there's still. Wait, hold on a second. No, not this. I wonder if there's still awakened, and by awakened I mean greater. Dude, you think that they... No, there's no way, right? You think that they got rid of freaking awakened enlighten, awakened empower, and then awakened freaking enhance, and they just put all three of them in this one gem? What are the chances? This gem has some crazy requirements though. What are the chances?
Don't see how I never can be certain with these things, but I'm like I have a decently high level of certainty unless I'm missing something here that without those two syncs you're just going to end up with lower value of chaos for sure.
Yeah, divest your chaos portfolio now based on comments on the Q&A.
I am curious if us saying that we anticipate that will have any sort of impact on the actual early price of chaos.
It'll have an impact for sure.
Well,
right?
We'll see.
Yeah.
When it comes to economies, feels over reels, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm telling you now, your chaos are worthless.
Yeah, we're moving. We're back to GCPs. Let's go.
Who knows?
The trade currency.
One thing, since it was just tangentially with the Keurig missions being gone, there's a lot of mechanics that are capable of doubling or tripling up. So something like, say, I don't know, settlers settlers loot objects, like the mineable things.
Yeah.
So in most of those cases, I believe all, maybe most, the base scarab that adds that content just adds more of it now, because previously you could get more of it from the map device craft, and we wanted to keep the max you could get in a map the same.
Yep.
Nice. You've been making sure that people don't feel like they've been robbed with these changes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Got to be done.
It's just not what we want to do. If it happens, it's on accident. Generally, and if it isn't,
the point was to kill the busy work, and I'm here for it. Absolutely,
yeah, for sure.
Chiseling maps isn't fun.
I've been saying this for years. I feel very vindicated right about now. Okay. Originator and memory maps on the other end of things had these weird pedal powers. They're weird and awkward. I don't know when to use them. I have to read it. It's too much text. What are you guys doing with the pedal powers, man?
I mean, they're gone. Some of the benefits they caused are now on the altars at the when doing the, speaking of keywords, memory strands.
Yeah, we were going through this the other day. Like memory thread strand fragments.
Strands, I think, are the thing or the items.
Memory strands, memory tears. There's one of those.
I can't remember.
So yeah, when running those, you can get them on as altar enhancements, and so the altars are kind of better. But yeah, no,
Also,
they were annoying.
The memory threads are, I think, if I'm using the right term, the things you use to create Egan's fruit story and kill the bosses to help Zana.
This is a problem.
Or to follow Zana. The memory lines things. Those are itemized now, and you can thus trade them to other players. You can save them to use for later. You know, there was previously a problem with where if you were partway through one of those and you got tired of running it and you went back to running a normal Atlas, now you're just kind of locked until you go complete it, right?
Yeah.
So itemization helps avoid that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you get FOMO because you're like, oh no, yeah.
Buy them, you can sell them, you can farm a specific one, you can... Yeah.
And that means it's also not like, because there's this whole thing where it was like a weird thing, I don't even know like how it activated half the time, and it was like in a separate map device.
Yeah, it feels more connected to a choice you're making now, rather than just
it's all the one thing, and you get to make that specific decision. Fantastic. We touched on Delve, that's good. I think we addressed that one pretty well. So on that one then, we have a few extra just random unsorted questions. Okay. I actually I don't normally include a ruthless question. Sorry, everyone, just block your ears for a second.
Notes. Give us freaking
patch question. I thought it was actually intriguing. I thought I'd ask now. So in Ruthless, you can't hide items on the loot filter, which I was surprised to learn. Made me laugh. Does it have to be like that?
The idea was if that we're ruthless. Really, what ruthless is a it's meant to mean that you don't have the whole items on the ground that don't really matter.
Yeah, that was the vision.
And so the idea was like, if you have to use one, then we've failed. That being said, I don't think that those I would be okay with enabling this, and I'll talk about it. And the idea really is that what I think loot filters can do very, very well. Well, I don't think that whether or not a player wants to hide an item, we should make them not want to hide the item in the filter. Like, that's the failure, not no, we're going to make you unable to hide items. So if we're succeeding in that regard,
you don't need that answer,
then
right?
ideally when they're making the filter, they wouldn't have any hide lines, right? That's us doing it right. So the fact that there are items wanting to be hidden isn't doing it right. But more so, the thing the filter does really, really, really well is improve the formatting, highlighting, what's important, escalating levels of what's
Dopamine
important,
levels,
all of that stuff very, very well. And as I'm saying, these things don't have to be at odds with one another. Like, you can do the drops right and still have filters. I think me from 2 years ago wouldn't have given the same answer to that, by the way. Certainly, it is a philosophy I've changed. Like, I might have even been me that said, no filters and ruthless. I don't remember. So, like, I'm certainly okay with it. And I think if that point where people are going, I'm going to hide all this and this and this, then we need to be doing more work on the item system in that regard. Which is a universal thing. That's not ruthless specific, right? As I said, if everyone's hiding all the rare items, then we're failing on rare items. That's a problem. However, and that applies to a bunch of things in the game. It's like, why are we dropping so many items if the general is no one wants it? Now, obviously, some people might not, and that's where that comes into play. But end of the day, I would expect it to be. I don't want to have a specific philosophy there, because I think that at the end of the day, if we're like, we don't want you to be able to hide items, that's our fault for making you want to hide items. That's not your fault, so you shouldn't have to have a bunch of stuff on your screen.
You know what, guys? I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to go literally for 5 minutes. Grab something to eat, because it's going to be a long night, something tells me. And I'll be back. How about this? So I'm gonna leave this open. Okay. I'll be back in a little bit.
But if you want, and then unpause at your leisure. Not to say that the repository won't still pause, because full screen interfaces will still pause, but there was a specific options thing where, it was honestly weird when you had like a panel that's just left aligned, like pausing you in the options. I know some people want it, but then also on the other hand, like, having your game paused and then you're changing kind of graphic settings also kind of gives you this thing where you're like, or when you're changing certain options, you then can't appreciate the changes. But ultimately, the real answer is implement this pausing system properly. For both games, mind you. It's on our current queue.
Okay, great.
So which game gets it first, and then the other game will get it is kind of honestly the race condition at this point.
I've got a couple rapid fire ones. How does Reloquarian work with combination with actual uniques? Has that been like tested? Like Widow Hail, for example?
Anywhere where a stat isn't purely Boolean, it should function.
So if it looks like it can stack, it should start.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's for you guys to figure out the balance.
100%.
Oh yeah, that's our responsibility.
That's their problem.
100% increased and 100% increased. You got 200% increased. Yep.
Yeah, great. With the change making fossils only come from Delve, can synthesis maps be the source of synth items again?
I mean, can. We'd have to look into that.
Sounds like it hasn't been considered yet.
I'd have to look into that.
I'm not against it. It's not. It's at this point of the week to go, it's unlikely to be something that makes it into 328. But that is a very good question.
Yeah. Cool. It has been. It has been seed. The seed has been planted.
Yeah, it's in there now.
I have my personal quality of life question here. So, like, I'm just going to ask this in a very certain way here. Like, could we just have like a tiny little area where we can pick up just only the exact same specific currency types. Just, you know, like shards, life force, splinters, you know, just stuff where there's no decision making. I know, because you want to make decisions about what items you're picking up and what items you're not picking up. It's part of the gameplay. I understand that. So just items that have no decision making where you're going to pick them all up anyway. It's just about reducing the number of clips. And I know you want a bit of a weight to them. Hold on. You want a little bit of a weight. You want a satisfying experience in picking those up, right? That's really meaningful. I understand. I feel that. I believe that. But I think, like, something is diminished and lost when you have to click 8 times to pick up that life force and you, like, misclick and your character walks out of the way and stuff like that. What if when you pick it up, it goes, oh, so satisfying. It just gets slurped into your character with this cool, like, animation or something like that. What about something like that?
I was going to say, I would sooner merge them on the floor before doing that.
That was my follow-up question. Since I know we can't have that, it's written on the page. Since I know we can't have that, is there any thoughts on better shard stacking?
But look, honestly, that's I'll tell you what, I'll bring that up again today. But without being able to have a good yarn with Jonathan on that one, we're not. It wouldn't even matter.
Scripted encounter.
When you have things like, well, there are certain levels of philosophical things that are obviously from the ancient times, as I now call them. You know, since we were talking about 27 expansions ago, and there's things that are probably 27 before that. You know, there are these things that you can't just make up on the spot for sure. You know,
yeah.
I'll bring. You know, you come upstairs and bring it up.
Okay.
And then we'll see where it goes. And then you can be the hero.
I'll do it.
Or the villain. No, I'll be the villain. You be the hero. But you know, we'll go up and discuss it afterwards.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a bare little tiny, just little foot in the door here. Maybe just like plant the seed. Maybe just
hey, take advantage of the things while you're here.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Just point me where the direction I need to go.
No, just come and discuss it with Jonathan and I legitimately, and we'll see where it goes.
All right, that's what
I'm going to say. There's a low chance on that changing, by the way.
I'm still going to plant the seed because I didn't ever think asynchronous trade would happen.
I don't want to ruin your hopes, but yeah, I'd say low. But yeah, I mean, with how much stuff is changing lately, like even just the base maps and everything, who the heck even knows nowadays?
I know. I'll grind you down over the next 10 years, just like asynchronous trade, right? It's happening eventually, one day.
All right.
Thank you both very much for a good chat and Q&A session, and Octavian for first time here. This was great. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I love these things. And
gonna do it again?
I would like to.
Yes, you are doing it again.
You are doing it again.
You're doing it again. Yeah, hopefully we'll get Andrew on here next time.
Bigger couch. You know. Be back next time for bigger Q&A, bigger couch, more hours, more of us really.
We just keep doing that every time until half the company is here.
Yeah. It really, yes. All right. Thank you very much, folks. See you later.
All good. Thanks heaps. Appreciate it, everyone.
I'm not good at stalling, so if the patch notes aren't up, I'm sorry. I'm not good at stalling. I'm not good at the art of stalling. We're gonna hope they're up. But yeah, that looked like a banger. That was a juicer. We needed this. Oh, where did the attachments go now? Yeah, I told you 3.28's gonna fix everything. I told you, dude. Action. 24 minutes. Yeah, it's Jover. $24. It's gonna be like 3 hours here. I know what to do. Here we go. Radel. I'm not an ad farmer. Be Act 1 before patch notes? It'd actually be close. It'd be close, actually. 8 to 12. $50 to $75, $80 to $120. $500 to $700. Ring? Yeah, I'm feeling Angler's play it. I'm pretty sure it's a ring though. I don't know, I think it's prismatic ring. But the 500 to 700 is like that. What would be on a ring for that? Hey, thanks for the Prime Shadow and World. Here's a just cheat. 62 on. Okay, so I mean it's a definitely an armor. I wish I could like sort the things on this website, you know. Astral plate, yes. Dude, you remember when astral plates were this? +1. Bro, that's definitely not mage blood. Starter, yeah, I'll do the flow chart, of course. Flow chart every league. I don't think, does Void Battery just have a 60%? I don't think that's Void Battery. Knowledge brings power. 41. Hybrid strength int. What the hell is that, dude? LE damage item sockets. Int requirement. Wait, I think they showed this in the trailer. Hold on.
Why am I watching Lily all of a sudden? Alright, boys. I'm back. We don't need the food button anymore. Path of Exile. Refresh, boys. Refresh is the plan. No, I mean... Did they say when the patch note's gonna be? Probably not, right? Okay, we'll just have to wait. I mean, it's been 2 hours, 30 minutes almost. 40 minutes after the beginning of the announcement, so it should be anytime soon now, right? Should be anytime soon now. Man. It would be probably smart to not freaking stare at this and do something else. Well, first of all, we know that these guys did remove the grafts from the game, right? They removed these bad boys, which means that we do lose some damage, like actually decent amount, right? Because we do lose 20% fire penetration compared to before. We do lose a guaranteed covered in ash. So if we wanted to play this build, like Zov's Blood is even more important now, because we need to have this modifier. And we do lose the fire penetration, so I mean, that kind of sucks. There's a lot more firepower we can get somewhere else, though, I guess, from the patch notes. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Wonder if they did something to ascendancies, like, you know, like just a little bit, like Chieftain. I know that there is some small changes to Chieftain last league. They added like plus, you know, a buff over here. So I doubt they did any changes again. But what's up, Benimaru? Did you like did you like the review? Yes. They added way more stuff that I thought they're gonna do. They added so much stuff, and overall, very happy with it. We're gonna have basically new endgame, tons of content, tons of things to do. Every strategy in the game, pretty much, from the beginning, from the very first one, is going to be different now because of all the stuff that they added. New scarabs, all like they added so much stuff. It's insane. It's insane how much stuff they added. So very nice. I am pretty damn excited, not gonna lie. But I'm waiting for patch notes to verify what builds we're playing. Because if they actually like buffed my build again or something like that, I think I'm gonna stick to it. If they didn't, then I'll be thinking about something like champion maybe. I really wanted to do a champion for a long time now. Tensura Watcher? What is that? I was really thinking about champion. Like, champion is so freaking fun to play. Wanted to do a pure fish champion with like a lot of armor, a lot of evasion, a lot of fortify, as much fortify as we could get for the damage reductions. Then capped spell suppression and this, right? Also, I love your channel, and you, by the way, the way you're thinking and explaining is top level, man. Thanks for the effort. Thanks all for watching, man. I really appreciate it. I really do. Well, I'm glad that there's someone that enjoys that. We're gonna try to keep on growing. In PoE 1, I don't have very high expectations, but in PoE 2, we're on a good trajectory. But in PoE 1, yeah, I'm gonna try to do my best to give you guys like a good league starter and good farming methods and everything and stuff. So there's gonna be a lot of content coming in soon from PoE, and I mean a lot. We're definitely going to be doing practice runs, and I'm probably after the patch notes gonna do a full stream of literally just sitting in PoP trying to figure out, you know, what to do. Potentially, even if this build is still going to be like really good, potentially I was thinking about doing like another PoB for a chieftain, for a champion rather. I really want to do something with champion here. Doing everything great, better than most creators. My content is not that high effort, but but thank you very much, man. Still, I really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate the kind words. Okay, I'll be checking that every freaking 2 minutes, I guess. But someone is having so much fun. Like literally, there's one guy that posted in every single one of those. I wonder what he's saying. Add spirit to PoE 1 so we don't have to reserve mana. And here, add spirit to PoE. Okay, so everywhere the same message. Fair enough. Fair enough. You know, this belt, I have to say, I'm not sure if I'm gonna find it now. Probably not. This belt that gives you, you cannot use flasks. Like you can't be under effect of any flasks, but you have Diamond Shrine and Resistance Shrine at the same time. Holy smokes, is this belt busted? Because what you can do with this belt is literally you can do this, right? Utility flasks are disabled, and then you have all that stuff. The permanent Diamond Shrine, the permanent Resistance Shrine, and then you have +1 ring slot at the cost of flasks. That is crazy, by the way. And of course, at this point, you're using this, so obviously Mage Blood is useless, right? So you have like +10 to all max res, you have +50 resistance, and you have you always crit, always. You just always crit. Like holy moly. Say whatever you want, always critting is freaking insane. It really is. The best part about this is you basically get to have 90 all res very easily. It's so easy when you have 85, it's so easy to get to 90 all res at this point. It's so freaking easy. So you basically have 90 all res without the flash jewel. So you're really good in resistances as well. At this point, you can add Purity of Elements to your build. You have 90 all res, you're immune to all ailments. And you're res capped. Like, you're over capped, actually. That's a really good combo, I think. What are the items that are crazy? There's this amulet, right? There's this amulet that gives you crit. A lot of crit multi. I'm not gonna remember the name now, but there's this amulet that gives you insane amount of crit multi at the cost of less critical strike chance. Well, guess what? you won't have to worry about less critical strike chance because you always crit with this. Aye. So crazy, dude. Just stack crit multi at this point, you get giga damage. Damn it, man. Did they say when they're gonna be up, by the way? Let's check Reddit. PoE Reddit. I mean, they're gonna be here first, right? I mean, come on. They're gonna be here first. Oh. Oh, this is interesting too. What do you guys take? Anointment or ability to suck at an abyssal jewel? What is better? It's gotta be anointment, right? I think it's gotta be anointment. Am I wrong? Like, what you can do with like with abyssal jewel, what is that you can get usually? You're gonna get like some attack speed, maybe like 40 life, some flat damage. With anointment, you can get like freaking like you can get some good stuff. Anoint any day. You can get some really good stuff, right? I mean, this is, for example, like 10 strength, 10% life, 20 flat life. Constitution is only 10%, huh? You can obviously get some crazy stuff with this, right? I don't know, 40% damage, or like, you know, one of these. There's some really good, like, actually, like, I want to say game-changing, but build changing, but like very powerful nodes everywhere, right? There's another thing you can do. For example, you can abuse anointment and, for example, have like lethal pride over here or something like that, and then just anoint the thing that gives you the stat that you want. Also very strong. Yeah, I mean, this belt is kind of interesting. A rare belt with just +2 max res is wild. All it will take is cash or blight farming. Rare belt with just +2 max res is wild. I mean, he's not wrong, I guess. He's not wrong. You can also anoint this if you want to. Soul of Steel is pretty crazy too. Or this, 25% chance to gain endurance charge when you hit, which while mapping, this is going to be up pretty much freaking often on many builds. 50% increased armor while stationary. Some really good stuff you can do with this. So many good notables. Could go for a big damage node too far away. Belt and positions are often not too impactful. Only a good one is crystal belt. There are two belts with different stun and positions, and they're never used. Or yeah, the problem is that, of course, this is true for the beginning, for the early game, but that is not true when the synth belts are getting involved. So I don't think this belt is going to be great for us, but obviously if we're going to be strength stacking. But for anyone else, I guess, pretty freaking OP, not gonna lie. Give me a second. Okie dokie. Can likely synth this after anoint as well. Oh shit. He's right. You can anoint this and then freaking synthesize this thing. I just realized. Yo, that is crazy. By the way. Of course, this is gonna be expensive, like late game project or something like that, but you could anoint this and then synth, most likely. Well, unless, you know, it's gonna freaking disappear, but I mean, who knows? Who knows, right? Stygian Vise is fine. Leather, chain, rustic belts are now completely obsolete. Alright, good choice. Lock and Vol. Probably synthesis craft. I know it works on enchanted item. It is true that vast majority of, you know, people late game is still Mageblood or Headhunter. Extremely busted, especially with double corrupts not removing the notable and the new catalysts. Gonna have some absurd belts being made, even just Hunter influence and rolling for T1 and T1 life, and now Constitution would be a few hundred life. Okay, this guy is probably, you know, I don't know if it's going to be that. I really don't know if it's extremely busted. I mean, okay, you get like additional anointment as an implicit on the belt. Is it that busted? Is it like is there going to be like additional anointment anywhere on this passive tree that will give you more than, I don't know, 10-15% more damage? Is there anything like that anywhere here? There's some interesting ones, of course, like, I don't know, you can get like freaking splashed or something, but Are you starting Strength Stacker again this league? What's up, Willem? We're waiting for patch notes right now. We're gonna wait for patch notes, and then we're gonna start cooking. That's basically, long story short, the plan. Imagine double anointed Ami with that belt. I mean, sure, but there's always opportunity cost, right? There are some crazy anointments, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say that they're not. I mean, I'm anointing this myself, right? Because it's freaking good. So there is something that probably gives you like 30 strength plus something extra. Master of Blades, for example. Yeah. Increased physical damage, obviously not very. Yo, this. Wow. This node is freaking insane. What the hell? 30 strength, 30 physical damage, and 30% chance to ignore enemy physical damage reaction? That thing is kind of busted. %10 life, 10 strength. Around 20 strength phase. Well, there is some good stuff. Sweet. I played it last league from your guide and had a great time. Hoping it doesn't get giga nerfed so I can follow your build again. The plan is as follows. We're going to check the patch notes. If the build is untouched, then I'm going to release a video where the build is basically updated, you know, according to what we have in the patch notes. That being said, it's going to be basically borderline impossible early on because there's just so much stuff that they added. So new gems, the Wicked gems are gone, all the other stuff, right? So it's going to be difficult, but if it's going to be untouched, then I'm going to release something, right? If it's going to get nerfed somehow, in any way, shape, or form, then I was thinking about playing Champion for a long time. And I'm going to try to like do something about the Champion. I think that Champion has like super good potential. Maybe like a Champion with like a pure Fizz build actually with Master of Metal. I wanted to do something like that for quite some time. But we'll see. We'll see. We need to get the patch notes first. I don't know. I'm going to predict that they're going to be up in 1 minute, but I might be very wrong. Maybe it's going to be 11 PM. We'll see. Well, I was right? No freaking way. They actually did it on 11 PM. What the hell? Alright, boys. Here we go! Alright. The Mirage Challenge League. We're not going to be reading that. I mean, literally just like really fast, unless I miss something, right? Energies Capture Jin, Nefarious Ends, Afaroot, something, Deny Twisted Effort, sure. You will encounter a physical form of trapped Jin. Varashta equipped magic, Mirage allows you to enter. Fight through the monsters. 3.28. Damn freaking right. D4 bad. Let's freaking go. By kind. Hardcore variations of Mirage, Bada Beam, the Mirage something from 19th challenge onwards, and the third. Okay, perfect. All right, let's take a look, boys. I wonder if they're gonna like introduce the. I mean, okay, let's freaking read. Let's read first. Added the new Reloquarian ascendancy class for the Scion. Notable passive skills are borrow from the powers of unique items throughout the raid class. This is basically scavenger from Freesia event. Very interesting, especially that every 4 months, every league, they're gonna reshuffle the uniques, basically. And it will change each league. For this reason, these notables will not be available as outcomes to the Forbidden Flame and Forbidden Flesh unique jewels. Long story short, Scion is gone. No, never mind. Scion is still in the game. Never mind. Scion is in the game. It's just the Reloquarian is... Oh, okay. I see it. I see how it is. My bad. They just added it. I guess there's no reason why they should remove Scion. I mean, it's stupid. Exceptional support gems, new improved version of Awakened support gems, which will be phased out. There are over 40 exceptional support gems, which will be found in the end game. Do you know how many exceptional support gems we have right now in the game? Do you know the number? Garbinger gone? I don't even know. Hold on. Harbinger. Yep, Harbinger removed as a core league. RIP. That's correct. I mean... I mean, RIP Harbinger, right? I mean, it's been there since literally 3.0. I still remember farming these freaking tier 15 Harbinger maps. These red maps in 3.0. I do freaking remember. I lived in a different place back then. I still remember. That was so many freaking years ago. Well, RIP Harbinger, you will be missed. What am I gonna farm now? Oh, I'm sure we're gonna find something. What's up, Bun Bun? Finally catch one of your streams. Love listening to bro's voice. What's up, man? All right, let's read. There's plenty of things to read. Introduce Coin of Knowledge, which corrupts a level 20 skill gem, imbuing with random valid intelligence support. So basically what this is we already have the snippet over here. What this is basically you use one of these things, right? And then your level 20 skill gem becomes corrupted, and then you get additional support here. Like, for example, supported by level 1 Bloodthirst. This could be level 1 Fortify. This could be level 1, I don't know, like Endurance Charge on Stun. Plenty of useful things to get here. Level 1 Endurance on Stun would be actually kind of insane, not gonna lie, if you're like an Endurance Charge Stucker. So that's potentially like a very good power creep here, this thing. For some builds. A little bit worse for some of the others. But yeah. Divine Blast. Excuse me. Divine Blast. Project a beam of holy light from your shield target location, causing influence. This basically is this thing over here. It's going to be... I wonder what you can do with this. But it could be pretty decent for the shield enjoyers over here. Tier 17 is gone and they won't be missed. Yeah, this tier 16.5s will be like the ultimate place to farm now, I guess. Holy Hammer. Slam the ground ahead of you, calling down the hammer from above, hitting enemy under the hammer will cascade towards. Repeating further, enemies are hit up to a cap. Power charge can be expended. This could be potentially very good, depending on if it's going to shotgun and how well it's going to shotgun. And then Holy Strike, infuse your weapon with Holy Energy and swing. Successfully hitting an enemy will summon forth a Holy Armament, which copies your main hand weapon stats to determine its own. 3 Holy Armaments are undamageable minions and will attack enemies you target with Holy Strike. Requires a mace, scepter, or staff. Honestly, I was thinking, I don't think we have Holy Strike here. If the numbers on this thing are going to be good, I'm thinking about doing Holy Strike. I am legitimately thinking about doing Holy Strike, freaking Melee Splash, something like that. Ancestral Call, Awaken Ancestral Call, Greater Ancestral Call, should I say. Because Awaken is gone. I'm legitimately thinking about doing this. Because Every time during the showcase, they show that every time you attack with your attack, these minions also hit. I'm assuming that this will drastically increase the amount of damage on single target if you do this. And that is very, very interesting. And if the clear is going to be good enough, then, I mean, I'm just going to go for it, man. It's just all matters of if the numbers are good or not. Right? If the numbers are good, then this skill is good. If the numbers are bad, then D4 bad. It is what it is. Do it, bro. I've never done one of your builds and probably just copy you this league. We'll see. We'll give it a try, right? Shield of Light. Retaliate against the blocked enemies through Retaliation skill. I'm probably never going to touch these. Conditional skills. A condition in order for you to do damage is... I don't know. Shockwave Totem of Authority. Summons a totem that shakes the earth around you, damaging enemies. Okay. Normally just do my own thing, but I've watched like every one of your build guides and I just want to be on your vibe for once. Going from glass cannon to pure tank. Generally we're doing like a very tanky builds, but I don't think I made like a single build yet that I would comfortably go into Voided Valdos with. But maybe this league is going to be different. This league is going to be so much fun because there's so many new strategies to discover. The completely new endgame and so many different stuff added that it's going to be super, super fun. So I might like play for a long time. Strength of Intelligence, Transfigured skill gem, Static Strike of Gathering Lightning. Attack with a melee weapon, gaining a Gathering Lightning buff for duration if you hit an enemy. Static Strike of Gathering Lightning. Attack with a melee weapon, gaining a Gathering Lightning buff for duration if you hit an enemy. While you have Gathering Lightning, attacks with this skill will cause chaining beams of lightning, which chain further the more Gathering Lightning you have. Oh! This is kind of like, it's gonna scale the AoE the more attacks per second you have, basically, something like this. I wonder what the numbers are. I wonder if the... The problem is that we don't have numbers anywhere. That's the problem. Dexterity, Transfigure skill gem, charge dash of projection. Challenge to project an illusion in which you steer. You gain stages while it moves until it stops at maximum total distance. This area damage frequently pulls along its path based on your attack speed. Stop challenge to release the illusion, dealing with requires melee weapon. Doesn't that kind of sound like charge dash and that's it? That kind of sounds like charge dash, but I would need to see the original to see the difference. Flamethrower, Trap of Stability. Throws a trap that releases a number of flames in different directions around it was triggered. The flames last for a duration, repeatedly dealing damage. Kinetic Fusillade of Detonation. I don't even know what the base skill is, honestly. But for everyone that know, wave your wand to create multiple hovering kinetic projectiles. After a short duration, the projectiles explode, dealing area damage. Using this attack again will reset the duration of all hovering projectiles. Cannot be directly used. Reset the duration? After a short duration, the projectiles explode. So you can just stack them up. But why would you want to do that, though? Using this attack again will reset duration. Why would you want to do that, though? Apart from, you know, against bosses, maybe. I don't know. Orb Storms of Squalls. This one is actually really cool because there's going to be some cool builds with this. Creates an electrical orb that will strike enemies in its area effective with beams of lightning when placed, as well as when use a lightning skill when within its area. These beams of lightning can split to hit more enemies. When striking enemies, this orb will teleport to random enemy struck. Casting a skill again will replace the previous orb. So basically you just cast like some lightning skills and this orb will basically like travel with you. And you're gonna get Giga Clear with this. That's gonna be pretty cool. New Intelligence, Transfigured skill gem, Shock Nova of Procession. Cast a lightning, cast a ring of lightning around you, followed by a larger lightning nova. That's so far. This is like just the same as Shock Nova. Each effect hits enemies caught in their area with lightning damage. This then repeats, with each repeat offset from the previous in the direction of your target. Wait, Wasn't that this thing? Wasn't that basically this during the showcase? These triple like lightning rings that the guy was casting? I think this is what he was using. The Shock Nova of Precision. I might be wrong, but I think this is what he was using. Storm Burst of Repulsion. Unleash orbs of energy while you channel that repeatedly jump away from the target location. The duration expire. Dealing damage in a small area after each jump. If you stop channeling, all remaining orbs explode, dealing higher damage in a larger area. I don't know. These are not the skills I used, right? So, siphoning its trap of pain. Honestly, this one, guys, I've no idea anything about the traps. That being said, Blessed Coal support. Support Warcry skills, causing them to create consecrated ground. Supported Warcries have lowered area of effect and cooldown recovery rate. Cannot support triggered Warcries. That's good. For the most part. That's not a bad support. I don't think so. On many of these Warcries, the cooldown recovery rate is not going to matter that much. Area will not matter at all. At least for us, because we have infinite Warcry power. Just getting like consecrated ground for free, kinda. That's kinda nice. Strength, Intelligence, Excommunicate. Support melee attacks, causing them to gain a percentage of physical damage as extra fire and lightning. And Excommunicate enemies on melee hit. Does not modify skills used by minions. Okay. This is like added fire and added lightning combined. It's just, you know, with lower numbers. Intelligence, Exemplar support. Support minion skills, causing your minions to have increased critical strike chance, critical multiplier for each of your own recent critical strikes. The more you crit, the more these guys will crit. Interesting. New Strength, Intelligence support gem. How? Melee attacks use yourself, causing them to inflict Howling Flame on melee hit. We saw that during the reveal, right? I don't even know what Excommunicate is. Hold on. Can we like actually learn what Excommunicate is? No, this stat like that doesn't exist right now. Added new strength, intelligence. Okay. Added 10 new. Oh, it's 10. Agile, connection. They added 10. They only showed 2. 13 new unique items. Okay. Oh, the most important line is here. Continue to incrementally improve the sound, art, effects, and environment. Perfect. Patch notes are complete. Alright, so endgame changes. Extensive changes been made to Atlas to how I engage with maps without interfering with low core experience. So this basically means is that you, for example, have yellow maps, right? You're gonna find tier 8 map. It's not like tier 8 strand map, it's just tier 8 map. And then you can do this tier 8 map to do any map you want. So they basically made it so that it's going to be much less annoying to like... You're gonna find a map, and any map you want to do, you can do with this tier of the map. So that's going to streamline also selling and buying maps very well, and it's gonna make things more convenient, right? Structure of Atlas has been changed. Content map device physically present on the Atlas, allowing you to see everything available in the end game as you reveal the Fog of War. All unique maps are now present. You got 1 Atlas points per unique map, up to 10. There is more unique points, I do believe, 138 in total for the Atlas, so they increased that. I guess to compensate for the fact that the map missions, no, not the map missions, the map options are gone. The crafting options, like for example, you can't just add like additional breach anymore or something like that, or additional legion. It's gone. All of that is gone. So Conk Path of Endurance build when maybe one day, who knows. PoE 2 Waystones, kinda, pretty much. The only difference is that in PoE 2 you cannot choose which map you're running. You can only run the ones that are available, and in PoE 1 you can choose whatever map you want to run, like always. So is selling maps even going to be worth anymore? Regular tier 16s, probably not. That changes dramatically when it comes to selling tier 16 corrupted maps. I feel like these can be very expensive, 8 modded corrupted ones, because they don't need quality anymore. You get quality for free, so every single 8 modded corrupted map is going to have 25% quality. That's going to be big. There is going to be massive amount of people buying these. And you could be farming them with Blight and with appropriate Scarab, and you'll be just dropping tier 16, 8 modded maps like crazy. Crazy amounts. And then just sell them somewhere, or like on TFT or something with the rejects. So I won't spoil, but I think your Inquisitor was buffed. Ooh, okay, let's see. So that's for the most part. There's like a lot of changes here additionally, but there's just like a massive amount of changes, right? Like for example, the petals got completely removed. Instead of petals, now you can sometimes spend your petals. There's gonna be like some additional options, right? But you will not be using petals yourself, so that's a very good change. There is just like massive amount of changes, to be honest. Tier 17 maps got removed. Basically, they're nightmare maps now, and they're not really going to be used for farming a lot. They're mostly going to be used for finding the fragments for Uber Pinnacle boss fights, which means that they're still going to be expensive, and it's still going to be worth farming them. What's up, Roger? Hello, my guy. Log in, dude. Hope you liked the reveal. Yeah, Mark is like, it honestly feels like a very good league incoming. Slightly increased reward values of originated invented nightmare maps. Modifiers are granted increased pack size or item rarity. So more pack size, more currency, reduce the reward values of. We're still gonna have the tier 16. The bottom line is tier 16.5 maps are going to be like top endgame farming strats. Period. Right. And you preferably want to be finding them 8 modded corrupted at the same time. These are going to be expensive, and these are going to be insanely valuable. Yeah, I guess. Everyone will want to be running them. So long story short, you freaking put the Scarab, you do my farm, you do my you do my not breach, Blight farming strat for farming maps. You slot in the Scarab that gives you 8 modded corrupted maps every time, and then you just try to freaking fish for 16.5s, and then you make freaking insane money from that, and you just sell them. That's the plan, boys. That's the plan for the farming. Next league, I have it figured out. It's gonna be so easy to sell maps now because you don't have to sell like freaking 7,000 strands anymore. It's just this. That's it. Period. You could even sell them with asynchronous trade. You could do everything. All right. Voidstone, killing Infernal Dread. Alter bonus objectives additionally grant +1 map quantities. As I mentioned, you cannot use chisels on maps anymore. Chisels are gone, except for the Maven chisels. They're still in the game. And now you will be able to get +25% to map item quantity on every single map. Period. So you just get that for free. Because there's 100 bonus objectives, so you get 25. So that's pretty damn good. Uber bosses now only requires 4 fragments to access, previously 5. I wonder why they did that. I mean, that's okay. All Maven invitations have access to Kirak, rather than some of them. Okay. Sacrifice mortal fragments can no longer be used in map device to a random Vaal site area directly. Instead, they can be used alongside maps to add Vaal site area. Okay, there you go. Sacrifice mortal maps, mortal fragments, now explicitly state the map item quantity bonus they apply to areas. Okie dokie. This can sometimes... Nah, I mean, it's not going to be better than Scarab. Never. So I'm unfortunately going to read the rest of the notes myself at work. Take care, man. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're going to have a great day. Elder, Shaper, Conqueror always generate on tier 16 maps. That's kind of nice, not gonna lie. As a result, the mission guides use these items no longer explicitly state the map of the map tier. That's good. That means that's really good. That means that Conqueror maps actually are gonna be even higher in price. Oh wait, what? Blessed orbs are now able to reroll the specific Conqueror inhabiting Conqueror maps or the specific Elder. That's amazing. That's really good, actually. I mean, I take it back. It's literally the same thing as Orbs of Horizon because they got removed. Because Harbinger is removed. But I mean, it's good that it stayed in the game. It's good. Sorry, I forgot that we had this option before. Kirac no longer offers Atlas missions. Defeating map bosses no longer has a chance to grant Kirac missions. As a result, the Planar Tactician, Solidarity, Expert, Resident, Critical Emergency. Yeah. Well, rip Kirac. You're only going to be here standing as an NPC, I guess. I don't know. Scouting reports can no longer be obtained. Activated. The side quest divination card has been temporarily disabled. Chisels can now be, as I mentioned before. Divination card for the chisels. Temple Architects can now drop additional scraps instead of additional map currency. Reduce chances of quality currency to drop from synthesized monsters to synthesized maps. Why? Was that overpowered or something? It definitely was not. It definitely was not. Why did I nerf that? Removed all vendor recipes that could grant chisels. Effect of 20% quality maps is reduced. Plus 10 at 20% quality. Oh, for the standard. Maven chisels now plus 40% rarity from 60. 10% pack size, 50% more div cards, 50% scarabs, 50% more currency. All of that got freaking obliterated. That being said, I think that Mark said during the podcast, or whatever you want to call it, that you only need to use one chisel to get the bonus. And that's actually pretty big. But they're still going to be expensive. But that's pretty big. Alright, chisels now always apply 20% quality to my... Yeah, exactly. Quality now applies no pack size instead of item quantity can no longer appear on the corruption implicit modifier maps. Strong boxes can no longer roll the modifier granting containing items at additional quality. This thing, the same thing. Eldritch Arthars influenced by the Searing Exarch can now grant Orbs of Scouting, and Eldritch Arthars no longer Orbs of Scouring. Excuse me. Orbs of Scouting. Greatly reduced the amount of items dropped from explosive barrels in the fortress map. These barrels will now drop a comparable number of items to barrels in other maps. Rip. The Resonating Strike no longer grants bonus shrine, bonus per parry instead of granting additional okay. Efficacy of the ambush scarab of the servant has been reduced. What was the servant? Ambush scarab. What was the servant? Okay. So this is dead. Reduced, that means that it got freaking cocked. Lowered the bonus rewards granted by the Blight Scarab of Invigoration by 20. What? Blight Scarab. You son of a... No! They nerfed freaking Blight, man! Blight Scarab of Blooming no longer adds additional non-boss waves of monsters to each Blight portal. Blight Scarab... Yo, come on, man! Blight Scarab of the Blight Heart no longer doubles the number of waves spawned in Blight encounters. It now guarantees each portal has 2 additional waves with chances for the 3rd and the 4th wave to occur. Bro! Like... It used to double waves? Come on, man! These are pretty much dead. These are pretty much dead, dude. That's a lot of nerfs. At 20%, that's pretty bad, but like this, they might be still good. They still might be good, depending on how much juice we will be able to get, but come on, man. And this, the blooming, by the way, is completely dead. This is completely useless now. Blight Scarab of Blooming. Okay, never mind. That's a different one compared to what I thought. Additional non-boss waves monsters to each Blight portal. No, I mean it's still kind of dead. Regardless. Anyway, Anarchy Scarab of Exceptional, which adds additional Exceptional Rogue. Guarantees an Abyssal Death in the area. Guarantees Abyssal Deaths. Oh. Betrayal Scarab of Unbreaking, which gives a chance for the Syndicate members to not lose ranks. Gives a chance. Experiential Scarab of Infusion. Logbooks have 4 implicit modifiers. Which increases the amount of ore gained from ore deposits and the difficulty and reward monsters guarding ore deposits every completed ore deposit in the area. Freaking rolls right off your tongue. Ritual Scarab of Corpses, which causes rituals in the area to gain an additional rare itemized corpse monster will appear in your favorite. I don't know if it's good. Beyond Scarab of Resurgence no longer enrages boss in low life. Instead summons the Beyond bosses other factions when when Beyond bosses summon. This actually can be really good early on. I think you could farm a lot of tainted fusings with this. Potentially very good farming strat early on. Give me a second. Let this Scarab cook. Let it cook, boys. Delirium Scarab of Neuroses now also grants Delirium the reward type +1 count of the defeated unique. Oh! That is good! Actually. If you can somehow spawn a lot of bosses in the Delirium, that's actually pretty decent for stacked dex farming. Hold on, let me see. The Delirium Scarab of Neuroses. The Delirium encounters are all unique. Oh, you only have a limit to 1. An area contain all unique Delirium bosses. That's not bad. That's +2 to rewards. That's not bad at all. That's not bad in the slightest, actually. That's pretty good. Why boss? Stack exile? No, it says unique monsters. No, it's Delirium bosses. Nah, that would be freaking that would be like freaking beyond busted. That would be hotfixed in 2 minutes after the release. Okay. Scarab of Apparitions can now also spawn Pantheon Shrines in addition to Conqueror ones. Okay. Influencing Scarab of Conversion of his reign to interference no longer grants a chance to No! And now instead spawns a Conqueror, Elder, Shaper, Guardian, or Synthesis boss to accompany the map boss. This additional boss is guaranteed to drop Shaper, Guardian, Elder. Bro! They killed everything! They killed my freaking strat, man! Like, from every direction, from every angle, it got cucked. What the hell? No! The Legion Scarab of the... It's dead. It's like literally dead. It's over. Like, you can't farm these maps anymore. Legion Scarab of Command has been remained to the Legion Scarab of Treasures. Now grants chests that are broken out of chance for chest rewards to be applied to a monster it breaks out, while also making those monsters more difficult and rewarding. Chance for the chest rewards to be applied to the monsters it breaks out, also making... That's really interesting, honestly. Are there some, like, crazy, like, I don't know, 1 billion DPS builds that clear the entire Legion in one hit? That farm, like, you know, this stuff over and over and over again? And get, like, insane value from Legion? Are there builds like that? Or even if you stack that to absolute extreme, you still cannot, like, you know, get crazy. No. Ritual Scarab of Selectiveness now also rolling 2 additional times instead of 1. The Dormant Scarab of now grants a chance to tormenting spirits possessed monsters to be released when that monster is killed. The spirit now immediately dives into the ground, resurfacing when you random monster type they again possess. Okay, that's cool. This one is gone. The Scarab of Dissection has been put into 2 separate scarabs. Okay. Calgron Scarab now... Wait, hold on. Grants 100% increased effect of area prefix modifiers, and area suffix modifiers have no effect. Okay, I get it. The Calgron Scarab now grants 2 additional orb deposits. Spirits 4, Essence 3 instead of 2, 3 Shrines instead of 2, 5 Rogue Exiles instead of 4, 4 Strong Boxes instead of 3, and 5 map modifiers that can roll on Originator, Influence, and Nightmare maps. So there's more even, okay. Back to the Atlas, new maps, some maps gone. Drowning orbs no longer move towards players if there are no other enemies in range of the player. Thank Lord. Full map modifiers can no longer roll. Petrification statues. Hell yeah. Players or minions deal no damage 3 out of 10. Oh hell yeah. Players have reduced action speed. Oh hell yeah. Mark for death. 50% damage. Goodbye. Rare unique monsters remove life at a good freaking bye. The freaking Impale. I don't know if I've ever died to that, but that's okay. Desolation. That was okay for me, but whatever. Traps. Throw fewer traps. Well, whatever. Minions also, and okay, so for totems. Well, that's a lot of stuff that they removed towards the end, towards specific builds, and these are generally speaking good that they removed them. That being said, we still have block. We still have monsters block for some freaking reason. That's not good. Alright, Atlas passive tree changes. Oh boy. Shadows, Shaping, Bolt, Undertaking, and Singular Focus have been removed. Added new Atlas passive, Atlas Keystone passive. The paths not taken which shrines divination cards found in your maps are from 2 random other maps instead of the one you're in. Huh? Who's gonna take that? You can always, like, you know, the guy, right? And have the divination cards from a different map. You can do this. Added a new Atlas Keystone Synthesis ability, which completing this is the there is a new way to juice, and basically this allows you to juice while running the same map over and over and over again instead of different ones. So that's good. You'll be doing that probably a lot. Overloaded circuits Atlas Keystone grants your maps are opened with 5 additional random unallocated. Okay, 5 random. Okay, that's I don't know who would ever want to take that, to be honest. Refiner's Bargain, Atlas Keystone now Life Force found in your maps granted as random crop instead of 250% of value, previously 150. As a random crop instead at 250 instead of 150. And Sulfite found in your maps is granted as a random ore instead of 10% of the value. Huh. I don't even freaking know what that is, to be honest. If someone was farming that, then just let me know, like, seriously. Ancient Conflict Atlas passive now grants Abyssal Troves and Syrian Spires a 10% to drop Abyss Scarab, previously 3. That's a big buff. Crop and no rewards are shipping are reversed. Oh, okay. Okay. I get it. Ancient Decay Atlas passive now a one less node to reach the notable. And each okay. Small Ancient Decay has also been added to its 5% and expedition detonation speed for those that would like a change of pace. Thanks, GG. The Chisel's Perfection Atlas passive has been renamed to Multiplying Modifiers and grants 3% increased effect of explicit modifiers and maps per fragment used with map. Oh! I mean, that's freaking useless, right? I mean, that's freaking horrible, isn't it? That they, depending on what this is, Chisel Perfection. The Chiseled... Increased effective modifiers per 5% quality. Bro, they reduced the modifier effects even further with this. Wait, hold on. No, the fragment, this counts as a scarab too, right? Okay, never mind, they did it. Actually, it's even better now. Never mind, they didn't. This has to count as a scarab too, right? It's a yeah, okay. This actually is better because now it's 15%. Previously, you could get 12% or like I guess 18% sometimes with 30% quality maps. If you're running 8 modded ones, you would get 0. So this is actually really good for 8 modded farming. Big buff. Deadly Prey Atlas passive now has beasts in your maps have bestial rage and deafening beasts, defeating beasts, and grants a stack of hunters cunning, whatever. 1-4 for Loth and Queen Atlas passive now grants 20% of Val side areas in your maps to be othering Val side areas. Okay. Small passive +3 from +2. Immune response Atlas passive now blight monsters in your maps spawn 150% faster and no longer has blight encounters in your maps spawn 50% more non-unique monsters. Are they out of their freaking... How many nerfs can blight get in a single patch? What the hell, man? What do you mean no more 50% more monsters? What do you mean by that, GG? What does that mean, even? Bro, Blight got freaking nuked like a dog. Holy smokes! I really don't know if we will be able to make up for all these nerfs. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. They made sure we won't be playing it in the maps. For Giga farming, for Giga juicing, probably not. Honestly, I might try a freaking breach. Just take this node that prevents you from finding breaches that have walls, and just go breach, bro. Small passive senior immune response that granted blight encounters in your map spawn more unique monsters. Now increase quantity of items dropped by blighted monsters. Oh my lord. The Pillage and Plunder Atlas passives now have veiled items dropped by defeated Syndic. Oh, this is actually huge. This is potentially huge. This can be... You can drop some crazy items maybe sometimes. Sulfite Infusion Atlas passive now grants 400 Sulfite on the completing wild map. Okay. Small passives that grant increased Sulfite gain from Sulfite veins and chests in your maps 6% from 3. Smuggler cast 30% chance from 12. Wow. 10% chance from 4. Free use of a random map crafting option now increases rare monsters in your maps by 10%. Fair enough. 3% chance of completing your maps to gain free use of special map. Now it's 2% of magic monsters. Okay. Okay. Trial of Glory now grants 20% Labyrinth. Okay. This got Giga buffed also. The small nodes as well. Red Beast monster modifier consumed will sacrifice the blood altar. These types of modifiers now only give up to 20% chance for a beast to be not consumed. Well, that sounds like a nerf. Unimaginable Horrors Atlas passive now grants vol side areas in your maps 20% chance to. Okay. Small passives lead to... I'm not reading that. Small passives leading to honor... This is for heist, right? There's some small changes to heist. Wait, hold on. Smuggler caches have 50% chance to contain 6 additional smuggler caches. That's 3 times. Wow, that's a huge buff. Alright. Keepers of the Flame is going core. I am not going to read all of this. But they made like the hives like less annoying. Right, lower radius. You can completely disable the ones with the walls if you want to, or the other ones if you prefer walls. Following is removed, existing items will be deleted upon logging in. So the grafts got completely removed from the game, so no more free power creep. What else? I'm assuming that all the unique items are still in. I wonder if all breach scarabs have a limit of 1, except for breach scarabs and instability we have 2. I wonder if there is some information about the Fallborn unique items, if there are some changes, but probably we'll see changes later, right? There's way too many changes here to see all of this, and hold on. Okay, unique items we're gonna read. So, killing, poison the unique enemy, nearby enemies are poisoned, greater spell cascade, divine orb, and the sight of regret. Toolborn now has +3 cold from +3 to +4. Red Dream, okay, I was expecting that. 50% from 75, that's a big nerf. That is a big nerf. That is a big nerf, but this was the biggest nerf. Fallborn Hand of Thought of Motion, of course, 3% from 5%, almost, not almost, 66% nerf on, well, it's not 60, never mind. It's like, what, from 5 to 3 is, you lose 40%. 40% nerf on Hand of Thought of Motion. 40% on accuracy stackers. So that's a lot. Fallborn Core of the Storm now has mana. I mean, it's still going to be a good build, especially with like all the new goodies that we have, but Fallborn Core of the Storm now has mana increased by 1 per 4, previously 50%, or in other words 1 per 2. That's a freaking big nerf also. Table, Warcry Sumpin, Warcry buff effect. Ghost Ride has maximum energy shield equal to 40%, also nerfed. Dune Q Barry, 1 per 25, 1 per 16, that's big nerf, and that's also a big nerf. So, you know, they basically got rid of the best Fallborn uniques. There's still some chase ones, like the jewels, but yeah. But the most important one probably is like this one, and the accuracy stacking one is just 40% is a lot. That's like a lot, because for attack speed stackers, 40% is not only 40% less damage, but that's also 40% less hits on the enemy, which means that 40% sometimes less sustain, and 40% something else, right? The speed, they're not going to see the difference between, because they're still going to be moving at the speed of light with like 20 attacks per second or something, but or 15, but yeah. Oh no. Turmoil grips the Atlas and Harbinger appear to have departed the break class, leaving behind only a cryptic message. I freaking appreciate the effort. While the beachhead lies quiet for now, perhaps one day they will return. Yeah, likely story. Fracturing orbs and ancient orbs are now able to drop as part of the core drop pool. So fracturing farming is going to, well, it's gone, right? Engineer orbs, Harbinger orbs, and Orbs Horizon no longer be obtained. Ancient shards no longer be obtained, and all this stuff. Floating currency can no longer be obtained, all this stuff. All of this stuff gone as well. I mean, disabled, rather. Unique fragments can no longer be obtained, all the unique fragments from Harbinger. Basically, all the stuff that Harbinger had is gone, right? You can't find it in Delirium and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. Leak changes. How much more do we... Okay, we still have quite a lot. Leak changes. Settlers of Kalgur. King's March has opened a shipping trade route to new curry port, Mota Aro. Shipping ores and bars in King's March will now return currency items, while shipping crops will return equipment items. Favorite resources can now be reeled at ports for 15,000 gold. Shipments from King's March to Karui and Kalgur and ports will now grant specific tattoos or specific rune grafts. And there's like 10 new of them, by the way. Maybe there's gonna be some good ones, by the way. No longer have a bias towards a specific type of currency while shipping. Which means you can get like mirror shards from everywhere. That's kind of nice. Yeah. The Guild of King's March smelters have devised new technologies for more efficient smelting. As a result, they can smelt ores into bars twice as fast, but charge more gold for their services. Reduced global demand for crops. King's March farmer gold wage decreased. Hidden in danger within the Atlas, King's March mapper gold wage have increased by 25% on the other hand. Freaking greedy bastards. King's March mappers can no longer return cluster jewels over item level 83. I guess that makes sense. Bestiary. 3 Orbs of Horizon instead of a stack of 3 Orbs of Unmaking. That's basic stuff. Bestiary recipe, level of non-corrupted awakened gem by 1 now adds 500 million experience. That is a huge freaking nerf. A real awakened support gem, now sacrificing a special support gem for 3 high-level, high-quality support gems. Yeah, I don't know about that. Betrayal. Some syndicate's members are seeking to capitalize on the shifting forces in the Atlas, now offer different awards. So this guy, corrupted maps, now full-born unique items. This guy, breach rings or something. This guy, originated influence maps, trapped with scarabs, incubators, and cartography scarabs. Okay. Sulfite scarabs no longer has map owner gains 150 more sulfite. Why the hell not? Freaking Steve in shambles. The amount of sulfite gained from sulfite veins in chests has been increased. Okay, never mind, I take it back. Scaling to being roughly doubled at the highest level. Change the way sulfite veins in maps scale with map item dropped quantity to be similar to how settlers ores scale with map item dropped quantity. Sure. Tujin no longer sells cluster jewels or abyss jewels in this shop. That's, I guess, good. Possessed Legion monsters can no longer release tormented spirits when being broken out. They can still release tormented spirits once broken out. Added a modifier to ultimatums that prevent players being able to block. That's, well, whatever. For AFK ultimatum farming, I don't think that this guy has block. Does he? I'm not sure. Player changes. Templar now wakes on the Twilight Strand more in touch with his faith. The starting skill gem for Templar is now Holy Strike. Oh, and the starting support gem for Templar is now Hallow Support. Whew. Totem placement speed now also scales the speed at which totems emerge. Range attack totems now have base placement speed of 0.5 seconds. Speed now scales the speed at which totems emerge. I mean that sounds like a nerf, but I mean, see in practice. Channeling spells such as Lightning Tendrils of Escalation and Blight will now channel towards enemies from further away when used by totems. That's decent, I guess. Oh my lord! Intelligence now inherently grants 1% increased maximum energy per 10 intelligence, preview 5. Oh my lord, bro. That is by far the biggest freaking change so far. Holy smokes, dude. That is big. That is such a big change. Bro, that is potentially from 100 to, I don't know, 300% decreased amount of energy shield you're gonna have on ES builds. That is big. Very, very big. Jeez. I mean, that means that you basically get the same amount of... You get the same amount of energy shield from Shaper's Touch. If you use Shaper's Touch, you get the same amount of energy shield from Strength as you get from Intelligence at this point. I remember when Shaper's Touch was... They cut this by half, and they cut Shaper's Touch by half many years ago. And now it's freaking Intelligence is dead. Well, it's not dead, but I mean this change was due for a long time, I guess. All sources for reduced reflected damage taken have been replaced with a percent of the damage cannot be reflected. Some legacy items will still have the old stats, however. All sources of reduced reflected damage taken has been replaced with a percentage of damage cannot be reflected. Oh. What is it? How is this different? It was expected. I did not expect that. That is a big nerf. That is such a massive nerf for like tricksters. Literally, like immortal Valdo trickster farmers are dead because of this change. They just lost so much energy shield, so freaking much. All of these freaking guys get all of their energy shield from int, pretty much. All of these bastards. They're dead. D-E-A-D. Dead. That's messed up, man. These guys are dead. By the way. In case I didn't say that. Alright, man, let's move on. Holy Slam skill used by Herald of Purity minions 32% more area effect. Oh, that's nice. Absolution of Inspiring and Absolution. The base debuff duration of 3, previously 1. Okay, that's pretty good. Base duration 15, previously 10. Sentinels 44% more area effective and Power Lightning Blast. 40% more damage. That's freaking huge for Guardian. If you want to like be doing this. No, don't freaking don't link changes. We're gonna get to that soon. Pure int stackers were too OP for too long, right? They were. That is true. ES just got nerfed so freaking hard. Holy smokes. Sorry, it's a bug. Okay, it's all good. Squid milk. It's fine. We're gonna get to that. Animate Guardian of Smiting. Now minion has... oh. That's a lot of damage. Smite attack now has impact radius of 2. Oh, that's huge, by the way. I don't know if this was good, but now it's much better. Charge dash. This person is updated to clarify the more damage with channeling if illusion is finished moving only applies to damage with hits. This is not a functional change. Consecrated path. Hold up. So 10% more damage, 12% more damage on Consecrated Path, and additional 5% more damage from this. So in total, that's almost 20% more damage on Consecrated Path. Okay. 20% more damage on Consecrated Path. Does that make it playable? The answer is probably no. I don't know, man. Maybe? I don't know. Like, if I wanted to play Consecrated Path, I would definitely play this one and just do something with endurance charges instead. Detonate Dead of Scavenging now is 70% less damage with elements, previously 60%. That is a almost 20% nerf. That's pretty big. The chance to summon the normal Sentinel, Dominating Blow. Unique monster also applies when hitting rare monsters. Okay, that's still you. They just buffed all these freaking Guardian skills, basically, for Guardians. Like the minion plus you fighting at the same time archetype. Keep killing DD. Good riddance. Freaking broken. I'm sorry. Inspiring debuff at the same thing. Earth Shatter now has effectiveness. Earth Shatter nerfed by 20%. Freaking rib bozo. 20% is a lot of damage. Energy Blade, 10% attack speed. Okay, so Energy Blade gained basically nothing, and you lose even more energy shield now. Freaking rip bozo. This change is way more painful than you think, because you could always buff Energy Blade with stuff like Enhance and maybe some other stuff some people did. This is a big nerf to Energy Blades, by the way. That is a big nerf to Energy Blades. I will repeat, boys. Holy Flame Totem now fires 3 to 6 projectiles. Freaking double the amount of projectiles on Holy Flame Totem. Jeez. Log in, dude. How is Karn doing now, guys? Karn on the freaking suicide watch. Karn, no way. No, Karn is he even... Are all of these, like, you know, like melee only? I mean, I'm melee only too, pretty much, but... Do they all play freaking Earth Shatter, like Karn included, and everyone? They have other options too. They're gonna play Sunder now or something. They're fine. Holy Flame Totem deal 200% more damage at all. Effectiveness of 40. That's a freaking big buff. Orb of Storms can be supported by Spell Echo. I mean, what's the point though? Penance Brand, 10% more damage at all gem levels. Now has effectiveness damage of 250, 630. No longer has 30% less damage with elements. Quality now provides deal more damage. So that's some, I don't know, 20% more damage, 25% more damage in Penance Brand. A little bit less on this. Dissipation, 1 second while attached, previously 0.75. Pulses deal 20% more damage within its limits of energy after first, previously 30%. More damage, okay. I mean, that's freaking... That's a massive nerf, isn't it? Portal no longer has its casting interrupted by self-damage. Let's freaking go. The biggest buff of the patch so far, boys. Portal, log in, dudes. Any freaking Portal enjoyers in the chat? Freaking rejoicing in pure bliss? I hope freaking so. Because you can use your portals all the freaking time, my friends. Purifying Flame of Revelation. Now, now has mana cost of 5 to 20, previously 6 to 25, and now has base cast time of 0.6. Chakra is still 150. I've never used this skill. Ray Spectres no longer gain a hidden more elemental damage bonus when converting their physical to elemental. Ooh. Scale up the monster level at gem levels past 20. At gem level 30, Ray Scepter is now 85, previously 81. It's probably gonna be a big nerf to damage, something tells me. If something is hidden more if something is hidden more, that means that removing that is freaking very freaking big, much less now. You know. Static Strike now has a base enemy zap range of 2.5 from 2, big. Base duration of 4 from 3, big. Beams now with 30% less damage, previously 40, big. Big buffs on Static Strike, actually. Very big. Stormbrand now deals 3 to 10 lightning damage in gem level 1. Scaling to 150, 450. Oh. Oh, okay. That's still, I think, big buffs on this spell. I mean, it's a huge buff on this spell. I can't believe that they didn't do anything to kinetic blast of clustering. How is this possible? How is this possible that they didn't touch it? Huh? Several of indecision. Quality now provides, okay. Storm Burst now places orb immediately on casting rather than the first orb being, okay. Summon Holy Relic, oh my lord. Holy Relic's Nova skill now grants 1,000 life regen per second. Oh, to minions. Sweep is reworked, now it's called Holy Sweep. Holy smokes. 200 mace, we'll see what the numbers will be, but it looked way more promising. Well, they didn't do any changes to Smite, so... yeah. Thunderstorm, Viper Struck the Mamba, and Winter Orb. Okay. They didn't do any changes to Smite, and what can we say? I mean, our build is... I mean, we need to read the remaining changes, right? But our build is freaking fine, right? Our build is fine. The Brutus of Divine Judgment is fine. Vaal Domination, Ascended Sentinels now gain +2 radius per stage with the Thunder ability. Previously +1 and now deal 300% more damage. And Vaal Absolution. Okay. Support changes. What's up, Rabbit Boxer? All Awakened support gems no longer can be obtained, except for Awakened Empower, Enlighten, and Enhance. Okay, so they do stay in the game. Cheater and okay. Labyrinth gem craft outcome to exchange support gem is now Awakened version has been removed. Exchange support gem for random exceptional support gem instead of states you will receive a random Empower, Enlighten, and Enhance. Greater version support no longer works alongside the greater non-greater versions. A similar way to Awakened supported gems no longer. That's, you know, basic stuff. Existing supports affected by this change include, yep, there we go. Lesser multiple projectile support now is renamed to multiple projectile support. Auto exertion has the mana reservation cost of 20%. You son of a... Why, man? Like, freaking why? I mean, honestly, I don't care about that because that changes the mana reservation on my build from 25% to 20%. It's completely irrelevant. On Brutus of Divine Judgment, it's irrelevant. The question is, why did they do that? Overexertions now grant supported attacks more damage for each work. Oh my lord. Oh. Okay, but these freaking slams are dead. I mean, they're not dead, it's just... And they got... they're not great. In Ikara, Death Fury Notable now has enemies you or your totem skill have 10% chance to explode from 5, dealing 250. That's way better than it was before. A Sentinel of Radiance minion no longer has duration, permanent minion, and now approximately 36% more movement speed. Note the Sentinel still doesn't persist between areas. Wow, that's huge quality of life. Karn is raging. Well, unlucky. Effects that grant random. I can't believe they didn't touch like freaking clustering. I can't believe that. Effect that grants random shrine buffs such as Guardian Harmony of Purpose Notable, their Golden Charlatan Unique Sword. Instead now grant Greater Shocking, Freezing, and Skeleton Shrine. Okay. Time of Need Notable has... Yeah, that's freaking amazing. Guardian now has additional 2-point Ascendancy Notable, Marshal of Divinity. The notable grants inflict Hallowing Flame on melee hit. We saw that on the reveal, during the reveal, so. Warden, we saw that before. Avatar of Wilds now grants 10% more elemental damage while unbound, previously 80%. I'm assuming that this was probably underperforming before. Assassin, the opportunistic notable, now provides damage cannot be reflected. Previously, damage from your critical strikes cannot be reflected. That's great change. The Perfect Triumph notable now at 30% less damage with trigger spells. Like Clockwork, 50% reduced, increased cooldown recovery rate. 50% is a lot. Risk notable now has damage of enemies hitting you is unlucky. That's also pretty big, to be honest. More defense, more cooldown recovery on this guy. The Leech of no longer has 50% increase of buffs granted by your golems. Freaking rip. I can't believe that it went from 100% to 50% to gone. Freaking A, man. Where is this thing? It was 100%, I believe, on release. And then it got nerfed to 50%. Now it's gone completely. That's a freaking rip and a half. Assassin notable... No, okay, so this is the same change from... Okay, Bloodlines. King of Might, King of Heritage, King of Content, Bloodlines grant their respective aura if I have minimum. And yeah, so basically what happens is these guys... If you set things up properly, these auras, you will be able to get the effects of both of them at the same time. Now, I don't think it's a big buff. I mean, who uses... Okay, Determination and Anger at the same time? That's actually really good on many builds. Discipline and Wrath also, I guess. I take it back. You could actually have some good use from that. I take it back. Breachlord. The otherworldly appendages notable on the Breachlord bloodline has been renamed to Cryogenesis and now grants. If Intelligence is your single highest attribute, all added damage is treated as added lightning damage. Huh? Where's the Breachlord? Where's the Breachlord one? It's not there? It's not there. It's not there. Well, rip. I don't even know what they... I don't even remember what they were used to give. But if Intelligence is your higher single highest attribute, all added damage is treated as added lightning. All added damage is treated as added lightning. Not second from the left. No, this is... no. Oh, never mind, it is. I'm sorry. I'm so freaking sorry. Okay. So, honorable appearances notable on the Breachlord has been renamed to Cryogenesis. Okay, so this is Cryogenesis now, and provides intelligence. Okay, so all damage is treated as added lightning, and if dexterity, added cold. Can that be useful for anything? Does that really make a difference? In my opinion, probably not. Probably not, to be honest. I'm not sure about that. Katarina. Minions deal 20% more damage when they're low life. Previously 15. Misty Reflection skill granted by Wasn't Me. Bloodline passive skill now has base duration of 3 seconds. Previously 3. Now grants 5% of your maximum life. Previously 10. Big nerf. The Primal Roar Bloodline passive skill now provides 4% more attack speed per minion, up to a maximum of 80%. So they added the cap, but I'm assuming they added the cap, but the cap wasn't there before. Now have 50% less maximum life, but deals slightly more damage and have increased attack speed. Okay. Alicia. The Sinner Saint passive skill now converts 67% of fire, cold, and lightning damage to chaos damage, previously 50%. This could be interesting for some people. Nameless. The Unlight Silhouette Bloodline passive skill now has skills gain added chaos damage equal to 20% of life cost. Life cost is not higher than the maximum you could spend, from 20. Allroth. 50% less damage taken from damage over time while you have Unbroken Ward. Holy smokes. 30% faster restoration of ward per enemy hit taken recently. 70% increased ward from equipped armor items. Previously 40%. What the hell? They got buffed really hard. Ward Shatter triggered by the Volatile Runes Bloodline passive now has 200% more damage if ward has not broken past 2 seconds. Yeah, that's like whatever, but skill. It's a nice change. Okay, let's go. And Oshabi, the Vivid Cat Bloodline passive now provides 50% more effective marks when you have elusive instead of increased stealth while elusive. I mean, that's probably a pretty good... That's really good, actually, I think. That's actually a really good buff. Alright, passive skill tree changes. Added 2 new clusters to the west of the Templar starting area. One granting accuracy and effect of consecrated ground. That's kind of nice. Another granting accuracy and attack area of effect, okay? Protection Mastery that provides 50% damage from your hits cannot be reflected. Okay. That's decent. You can make yourself reflect immune very easily with this. The Defiled Forces notable passive no longer refreshes the duration of Ignite enemies you curse, and instead has curse skills have 50% increased attack cast speed. That's whatever. Evasion and Energy Shield Mastery now has 1% increased evasion rating per 10 intelligence. They cucked that too. Yikes. I was expecting that. Like, this mastery was too hidden broken for way too long. It's this one, by the way. You take this and you get like 600% freaking evasion from one single point, right? That was busted as hell. And Fire Mastery grants 50% chance to refresh Ignite duration, and Critical Strike has been replaced with Mastery granting 12% fire damage over time, multiplier, and 50% increase Ignite duration on you. Okay, the Ignite doesn't matter. Unique item changes. Okay, so Bino's kitchen knife is busted now. It has crazy range on the poison prolif. I think it's going to be really expensive. I think it's going to be really crazy for many builds, for poison builds, and on top of that, it has chaos resistance now. Descriptions for poison spreading now explicitly state the spread radius instead of just stating nearby. Oh, about freaking time. The Blood Notch unique jewel now has 20 to 30% damage taken from stunning hits recovered his life. Previously 40 to 60%. Rip freaking bozo. Well, that freaking that build is dead. By E-Miracles, I think. Four times the area. Yeah, it's crazy. That build is freaking dead. Is it dead? I think it's dead. 30%? I'm pretty sure there was a threshold that you needed to make yourself immortal. I'm pretty sure that AFK ultimatum farming is dead. Pretty sure about that. But I might be wrong. Bloodseeker unique claw. 200 to 250 increased physical damage. Okay. Bloodseeker unique claw no longer has 5% increased attack speed, increased movement speed. Bloodseeker now has increased reservation efficiency, whatever. Essential Sangu is 650 to 850. So 20% damage boost, up to 300 maximum energy shield. I mean, it's much better, but is it good enough? I don't know. No longer has 8% chance to block attack damage while dual wielding. Claws no longer has maximum energy is doubled. The implicit modifier has 2% attack damage, leaves his life from physical. These changes do not affect existing versions of the unique item. Hand of Heresy unique gloves now has melee attacks have 1 to 1.6 critical strike chance against excommunicated enemies. Okay, Mario Erqui 50% increased area of effect. That's a lot. Lionized Glare unique bow now has attacks you use yourself repeat an additional time, and attacks you use yourself have 50% more attack speed. What? Attacks you use yourself repeat additional time, and they have 50% more attack speed. The implicit modifier increased global physical damage. No longer has attack speed. Isn't that like? Will that not make this item like viable? I don't know. Pledge of Hands unique staff now is seconded as gems, supported by level 1 greater spell echo. Previously 30. Okay, but it has way more mana now. At least. I think so. Yeah, this sounds like a lot. The Shaper's Touch unique gloves 2 accuracy per 2 intelligence, previously 4. Ah, these are additional freaking nerfs for the accuracy stacker. For vast majority of builds, this does not matter. At least I don't think it matters for my builds. It does matter very much for the Juggernaut Hova Claw, right? The Sibyl Lament's unique ring now has 100% of elemental hit damage from you and your minions cannot be reflected from 80%. About freaking time. Soul Taker unique axe now has eat 2 to 4 souls. Okay, we're back. Okay, we're back. Auto check. Yep. Alright, there we go. Soul Taker. Eat 2 to 4 souls when you kill a rare unique enemy with this weapon. Existing versions of this item are unaffected by this change. That's kind of busted. That's kind of busted, bro. What the hell? You eat souls now when you kill... Wow. That is crazy. The Soul Taker is freaking busted now. Damn. And what's the duration of soul when you're eating souls? Is it like fixed? Supreme Truth unique scepter no longer has 20% increased elemental damage. Instead of attacks with this weapon inflict howling flame. Unseen Hue unique ring now drops from regular incarnation of fear. Voltaxic Rift treats enemy monster chaos resistance values as inverted and no longer has hits with this weapon shock enemies as though dealing 3% more damage. Huh, interesting. Interesting indeed. The Vow Spike unique ring now has 40 to 50% less impale duration. And melee hit strongest impale. Okay. It contains additional unique item modifiers and strongboxes will now drop unique item matching the types that item dropped from the strongbox if possible. A soul is lost every 0.5 seconds if a soul has not been gained. That's busted in my opinion. Soul Taker is like legitimately is going to be like legitimately an expensive item. Soul Taker. It doesn't have bad amount of damage, this item. It's not great, but it doesn't have bad amount of damage. And your physical damage can chill. So it's perma chill on everything. And it's insanely fast. And now it has this thing. Insufficient mana doesn't prevent your melee attacks. Wow. It got freaking buffed. I'm not gonna lie. It got buffed, guys. Currency items now account for a significantly larger portion of dropped items. Oh, this changes allow currency rewards from slaying enemies to be more competitive with other sources of it in the game. Does not affect the number of scrolls of wisdom and portal scrolls that drop. Unique equipment items are approximately 60% less common also. Lowered how much modifier tier rating is granted to rare items. Relative rarities of several adjusted. Most of the exalted regal orbs will now be comparatively more common. Okay. Increase the penalty to gold and map drops. I mean, this change was due for a long time because exalteds, I do believe, still had the same drop rate as divines, which didn't make any sense. Increase the penalty to gold and map drops on breach and blight monsters. Penalty to gold and map drops on breach and blight monsters. Bro. When you thought that this cannot be any more freaking dead. Essence of Insanity on rings now grants 60% hit damage from you and your minions cannot be reflected. Synthesis and on rings equivalent are at 30% damage from hits cannot be reflected. 75 here. 75 on Watcher's Eye. Oh, this got freaking destroyed as well. So no bonuses for golems. RIP. No bonuses for golems. A small attack block cluster jewels can now roll the notable Fury Aegis. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder what that is. Medium cluster attack no longer can now roll the new notable Holy Word. Okay. Refraction no longer has skills chain additional time and now has projectile chain additional time. That's a big nerf. Removed all crafts that enchant flasks from the hortifying bench. Existing items with these enchantments are unaffected. Removed all crafts that enchant flasks from the hortifying bench? What do you freaking mean? You can't freaking enchant flasks anymore? With like regen or something? Oh! That was really good. You could get stun immunity this way, also. Unlike Mage Blood. A beast crafting recipe to apply a Hidden Cross locked magic item that can no longer be used in the corrupted items. It could? What the hell? Essences now have maximum stack size of 10. Previously 9. Oh, bro, like, the best change this patch. Clarified some description of cluster jewel notable such as purposeful harbinger and follow through to make it clear that the caps are global. Purely descriptive change. 2,000 gold fee when purchasing from merchant tab. Itemized beasts now vastly lower gold fees, and their gold fees no longer depend on the modifiers itemized beast. And the Ruthless, some changes. Yeah, I'm sorry. Reduce damage dealt by Rusty Crusher shock rifle ability by 50%. Apparently it was busted. Quest rewards, user quality of life changes. We saw all of that. Bug fixes, microtransaction updates. Now we can read the bug fix that someone sent me before. I can't because I can't see it anymore. That being said, there it is. Champion ascendancy, where you could count as gaining fortification while you have your maximum fortification from the this will prevent triggering effects like losing endurance charges when you gain a fortification or replica a badge of the Brotherhood unique amulet. Okay. That's fine. Let me see if I see something useful or interesting here. And the answer is I don't think so. I don't think, oh my lord. I don't think so, no. Right, long story short, guys. When it comes to our builds, there are basically no changes whatsoever to our builds, apart from the fact that what we gained previous patch, we lost. So we lost the hands, the hands from the breach that everyone got. They're removed from the game. Other than that, we could have some big buffs late game with new greater support gems. We don't know. Maybe some unique items. We don't know. But when it comes to like pure skills and everything and stuff like that, and how the build function, I'm talking about Brutus of Divine Judgment. It's literally the same. Now, the Inquisitor got nerfed a little bit, but it's basically doesn't matter. Because Inquisitor gets, like, still majority of his energy shield from... Not majority, but, like, Inquisitor probably lost, like, a 1000 energy shield or something like that. And the rest is literally the same. Excuse me. But the Brutus of Divine Judgment build is literally the same. Could be potentially better, depending on how good or bad these new skills are. You know, the Holy Strike skill and the Slam thing. We could be using Slam. This build doesn't have a lot of attack speed, so we could be using a Slam as our main skill. We don't have to be using Smite. So yeah, is it legitimately Brutus time? Is it Brutus time, guys? We have new skills to experiment with, and also like the exceptional support gems and stuff. So there is stuff we can have some fun with. On top of that, I guess we have a big boost because with these new skills, we can be using this corruption coin, which will give us basically a 7 link. We can very easily get Fortify or something, and that's going to be another big power boost. So there are some options, right? As I mentioned before, Inquisitor, pretty much the same. Small nerf, doesn't matter. If you want to be doing Inquisitor, Inquisitor is still going to be the relatively cheap option. A couple hundred divines, and you farm everything in this game AFK, basically. Apart from Voided Valdos. Normal Valdos you can do. Voided Valdos I wouldn't recommend. And this is what you can do on Inquisitor if you want. So it's still going to be a top tier build. Arguably maybe even better, once again, depending on how good these new skills are. And the Brutus build is still the same. Still okay. So that's pretty much it. There are very few changes to the skills or stuff that I use. Very few. There wasn't a single change to the unique item I use usually. There wasn't a single change to the skill that I use. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I'm really interested in what these skills, new skills are going to be. Holy Slam, the Slam thing is going to be very interesting. Even the skill with the Holy Strike with the summon thing, these are going to be interesting skills. This new Hammer Slam has good overlap with Conk Effect. It can be busted. It can be busted. That's true. It can be. The thing is that there is only many of these skills you cannot use with. There's only so Holy Strike. You can use anyway with summon the Holy Armament, which copies the main when happen and determine its own. Yeah, this is I think the skill that I'm mostly excited for. Because I think, well, depending on if it can shotgun or not, but I think this skill can, like, maybe the clear is not going to be amazing, but I mean, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see, like, legit. I think this is the only skill I will be able to use with Inquisitor, though, because you can use it with Scepters, and not Inquisitor, Chieftain with the Brutus build. Blessed Goal support is going to be very good with Selfast and Enduring Cry. True, that is going to be insane. That is correct. That is insane amount of regeneration extra on Chieftain. That is true. Chieftain got even tankier because we will be able to get Consecrated Ground very consistently. Very consistently. So Chieftain got even tankier. On top of like having 90 all-res and all that stuff, we're gonna have even more regeneration now. And this build already had like 3000 regen per second. If you wanted to invest into these nodes over here, into these three, then you already get like insane amount. I'll be honest, guys. Like I think I'm going with this on the league start. I'm dead freaking serious. This build is just too good on the league start not to freaking go for it. It didn't get nerfed. Potentially maybe buffed with the new skills. We don't know. We need to test them first. And like I just don't know, man. Like 90 all res and like not having to worry about resistances on the league start. How freaking good is that, man? And we just got the Consecrated Ground for free on top of that. Like with Consecrated Ground, this is my, what? Day 3 to 5 budget build over here. So life region was 1.8 thousand. So with Con Ground, we'll be sitting at 2.3 thousand regions per second. And leech. With these max hits. Nah, bro. Fizz is a little bit low, sure, but we have still like 75% block chance later. So nah, man. Brutus in the farm for Inquisitor, I understand. You're doing the same starter. Might as well. Like, might as well. Like, a lot of things got nerfed, and my starter is still the same. I told you guys, they're never gonna nerf Brutus. They're never gonna do that. I don't know, like, we would need to get, like, 5,000 viewers or something for this build to get popular and get nerfed. It's never gonna get nerfed. It's never gonna get nerfed. It's really freaking nerfed. Everyone that played this build says that it's freaking amazing. They say it's A+ tier or freaking S tier starter. Everyone. I haven't seen a single comment that someone said that, oh, this build sucks. Like, legitimately. Stay low, man. That's the plan. I think I'm just going with this, bro. Like, I don't know. I think I might go with this. I wonder what the new skills will be. Third time Brutus. I mean, what else? I mean, I'm gonna be working on something. Like, you know, we're gonna like jump into PUB. We're gonna do like a PUB stream before the league start. We're gonna be doing practice runs before that. But like, I'm gonna be doing something. Like, we're gonna try to like cook like a chieftain, excuse me, champion or something. The problem is that there isn't much you can, you know, think of. Because the meta for PoE is so established at this point, and there is almost no changes to skills. Like, there is no skills got buffed really that are interesting. That guy's when you PoB on stream, Karn, on Discord. There's gonna be too many people, but I always say that, you know, to everyone, right, that I'm streaming. So I guess we'll see. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna type in message that we're doing PoB today. How about that? But yeah, the meta is so established. Okay, I take it back. Like, late game, intelligence got freaking destroyed, okay? Brutus is using smite, right? Yes. But I'm really excited for this Holy Strike skill. If I could find... I bet we will be able to find this. Hold on. Hold up a second. Path of Exile Mirage. Okay, there we go.
Rogers from Grinding Gear Games. Welcome to GGG Live. Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of Path of Exile Mirage, which is coming out 1 week from now.
An additional Holy Hammer will cascade forwards, which itself can further cascade, and so forth.
I mean, this skill looks really good, but the problem is you can't use it with scepters. You can't freaking use it with scepters, dude.
Expending a power charge when using the skill will cool down an additional...
You can't use that with scepters. That sucks. Hammer. Holy Hammers. It's underground. It requires a mace or staff. Shit. It needs to be a mace or staff, dude. So you can't use that. You can only use Holy Strike from the new skills. And Divine Blast if you want, but, you know, I don't know.
Additional 2 hammers, which can also cause cascading slams. The more numerous your foes, the more instruments of Holy Judgment.
I mean, this skill is really freaking cool.
Sweep is an old skill, In fact, it is so old, with shiny new effects light batter them from above. These hammers cause area
requires mace, scepter, and staff for Holy Hammer. That's not true. Holy Hammer requires a mace or staff. Unless they changed it. I don't know. Go to the PewDB website. Well, I mean, who are we gonna trust? The GG or PewDB? who are you gonna trust more? Holy Hammers. Okay, it says mace, scepter, or staff. Here also. I take it back. PewDB. Yeah, it's the same as this. I mean, not gonna lie, guys. That's annoying. Because we don't know now. I'll be honest. This skill looks freaking amazing. If I could use that with Chieftain, I would freaking love it. I would love it. Because you guys don't understand that this 20% more damage when expending power charge is very, very easy to acquire for us. We could have that pretty much permanently. And we also, you call down 2 additional Holy Hammers when expending a power charge on top of that. That would be really, really cool. I'm not gonna lie. Does he... hold on.
Wait, cast us from the sky. If this hits an enemy, an additional Holy Hammer will cascade forwards, which itself can further cascade, and so forth. Expending a power charge when using the
this is what it looks like when you expend the power charge.
skill will call down an additional 2 hammers, which can also cause cascading slams.
Nah, that's freaking crazy, dude. That is crazy, man.
The more numerous...
I wonder how it would shotgun bosses, you know.
your foes, the more instruments of holy judgment.
But that's crazy, bro. Imagine having that on a tank on a chieftain.
Sweep is an convert. Some enemy structures cause area damage where they land.
Sweep we're not going to be using.
Clustered enemies are demolished by repeated impacts. When successfully hitting an enemy with Holy Strike, you'll summon forth a floating holy armament, a glowing mace that follows you closely.
This is what I was thinking about, right? But who knows how much single target and clear you're gonna have with this? Who knows?
These weapons are minions, and will attack with Holy Strike themselves whenever you do. These holy armaments will copy the stats of your main hand weapon to deal their damage.
I mean, I don't know.
Stand against.
I really want to play with this, man. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I really want to play with this. Like, not having to worry about Ancestral Call either. I really want to play with this. Also, the first hammer in each cascade deals 100% more damage, so it's effectively 440 attack damage multiplier. And then I'm going to assume that it is going to shotgun a little bit. And then 20% more damage when expending a power charge. It's not going to be hard to get power charges generation. It's not going to be that difficult. And then the Divine Blood, they didn't show the Holy Strike. That's unlucky. Well, we're gonna see the numbers and we're gonna compare, right? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Maybe they see... No, they didn't. Holy Strike is over here, but obviously we have no information on that until probably like Thursday or Wednesday at least. So, my big prediction. Yep, well... Oh, it's really freaking late at this point. almost 1 a.m. Alright, so that is what we see over here, boys. If there's going to be more changes, of course we don't know like a lot of stuff, right? We don't know these exceptional support gems. That might change a lot. There might be something that, oh, you get additional damage for something, and all of a sudden, boom, it's going to be insane for our builds, right? But yep, I'm pretty excited, not gonna lie. We did not get nerfed, apart from, you know, they're removing the breach hands. We got Holy Hammers, super interesting. We got Holy Strike, also super interesting. Holy Hammers probably looking even more interesting, not gonna lie. So I'm excited to test this one out. If it's going to be truly with Scepter as well, at least. So yeah. Other than that, a lot of different stuff. Completely new endgame. Super cool. We'll see what's gonna happen, but we're gonna be cooking some POBs probably soon throughout the week, and doing some practice runs soon as well. But I would say that this is pretty much it for today. We're not going to be doing anything today because I've been streaming for like, maybe not 10 hours, but we've been streaming for quite some time now. So thank you very much for watching. We're pretty much going to be doing what I said. Expect more precise information on Discord soon. We're going to be working on that. But first, I need to do something to stop these never-ending freaking disconnects on OBS. I need to do something about that. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I need to give it a try. So, take care, guys. Have a good night. And we're gonna see each other very soon. I mean, next stream, not gonna lie, is going to be tomorrow. Pretty sure it's gonna be tomorrow. So, take care, guys, and bye-bye.